Hi guys, it's Keleas here from Keleas.com, where we show you the love of floral design, and today we're going to make this adorable little polka dot ladybug. She's going to make this super cute door hanger. And on these videos, what we like to do is keep these projects quick and simple so you can knock them out really fast at home, and you're not intimidated by your first projects you make with flowers. And that way you want to do more and try more, because this stuff's fun, y'all. It's totally fun. So, all these supplies are available on our website. So if you need the link for anything, let us know below in the comments. Make sure you're following, liking, and subscribing to everything so you can get all updates when we get new videos uploaded. And we're going to use a little floral block. This is a piece of floral foam you can get at your local craft store. And it comes in a big sheet, and I've cut it down. You can buy the size that you need, but a little square will work fine. Now, when I'm going to attach to these guys any type of the burlap frames, I've got to look at the wire first, because wherever we are attaching, we need to make sure we're not just going to the burlap. It's not strong enough to hold, but we have to go to a wire intersection or to the grapevine somewhere to attach. So think about that before you design your piece, where you're going to put your action, meaning the fun part. I want this girl to hang upside down. We've made these before where she hangs to the side. You can do that too. But I'm going to make her hang straight, and I'm going to let her fun stuff come down. So she's going to kind of look like a swag when we get all done with it, where she's more linear. So before we put this on, I need to put her hanger on. You can hang from the antennas, but then she'll hang crooked, which is cute too. But they're just welded on. They're not really made to take all this weight. So I'm going to go ahead and attach a hanger first right here that can come up above her head and work fine, and hold it more stable. In design school class, I always teach our students to make sure you put a hanger on your piece. So this is an 18 gauge paper wrapped wire, and you can also get this at your craft store. And basically I just wiggle that around, twist it, and you can make a little hanger here. See how I'm going to make this go right inside her head? Let me tell you what, all my years doing craft shows, selling my finished products, people love to have a hanger. It helps them know how to hang something up. It also gives your product more value when you sell it. And so there it is. There's my hanger. It was that easy. And I went around the metal frame, so that's going to support this really nice. All right. Now I'm going to come in with my foam. I know I want this off to the side. Feel around. You've got to find where the metal is. Okay, there's metal here. There's an intersection right here. So if I put this here, I'm going to literally go at a T of the wire, which is right here. Okay, so kind of hold that. We're going to give this dude a swim in our hot glue pot real quick. Okay, if you've seen any of our other videos, you know I use an electric skillet with glue in it. And so look here, he just went swimming. He got a whole coating of glue. I prefer using this over a glue gun because it's a little bit safer. Now I'm going to put my block, just turn it slightly. Okay, and I've got it pushed into that burlap. I'm going to turn it around. I'm still holding pressure against it. There it is. Be careful putting your finger on that. That's hot. Now, go in while it's still warm. We're going to go right in over this metal frame. So these pins are going through the glue. I'm going to hold it nice and tight, and it's going to make it nice and sturdy. But you see, I'm going to a frame. Don't just go to that burlap, or it will not work. And it will fall off and rip your burlap off with it. So get it somewhere where it's stable. Okay, love that. Super cute. Let's put one more. And I don't have to worry about hiding the mechanics of this because it's very minimal. And it's just kind of over here on the back side, and it's concave, so it's not going to scratch anybody's door. Okay, one more on this side. Okay, so I've pinned all that in from the back, and my base is good to go. Look, she's ready. She's like, come and make me pretty, come and make me pretty. She's very excited. All right, so we are also going to be using this other cute little butterfly. She's going to be, I mean, she's not a butterfly, ladybug. Look at her little antennas, need some loving. I'm going to get them poking up. We're going to be using her in a little bit. She's going to be our final piece, but we got to get all the fun stuff going. So we're going to use 2 of these floral sprays right here. I love these. These add such a pop of color because they have all the colors we're using. Basically, we just need to separate these into a couple of sections. So I'm going to use some wire cutters. And all of these pieces can be cut just from this stem. So just a couple of inches down, we'll trim each piece. Trim this one off. We don't need a big wire sticking up. I'll cut this one here. You may have to use 2 hands to get a little bit stronger grip from cutting all the time. So look, I separated that piece out into 3 sections. We're going to do that on both of our stems. So we'll just move little ladybug over for a second. Actually, that's the big mama ladybug. And I'll trim this one down too. Take that excess stem off right here, and we'll cut each of these off into their smaller sections. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. We've got 3 and 3 from both stems. Now we're going to go ahead and create our little design on each side of the foam. So what's going to happen when we get to the end is we're going to put this little ladybug on. She's going to fly down, so we want the sprays to come out either side. She can fly up or down. It's up to you. Whatever you like her flying up, she can go that way, or she can fly down this way. Whatever you think's cute. There is Mama. I like her wings kind of going out. Let's see. We'll play with it and we'll decide. You're going to take your longest spray here that you cut a moment ago, and we're going to take, and what we call in design school is shake hands. We're going to get to meet each piece. You've got to spread them out and shake hands with them. And I'm going to dip this in my glue pot, so I'll get a little glue on it. And I'll press that right in the top here. Okay. So she's going to go up and out and spread on out. Good times are happening. Now let me plug my glue pot back in. Now we're going to do the same thing coming down. So I'm going to find the longest piece over here, which looks like this one. Same thing, we'll shake hands and spread it all out. Y'all, our design school class opens up twice a year, so if you'd like to get on the wait list for it, you can head over to Keleas.com, click on the design school, and it will take you to the wait list. We would love to have you when we open up again. I'm going to push this one in, and they're just going opposite each other. How cute is that? So far, so good. All right, now shake hands again. Look how cute. Now we're going to put these on opposite sides of our main stems we've put in. So they go for a swim in the glue pot. Give them a little stir, get a little chunk of glue on there. And then this one's going to go on this side. And we're just creating this really cute base. We're softening the lines of our piece. Now I'll put this one opposite right up here. Just keep zigzagging. I love this kind of stuff. We're creating such dimension. Shake hands. 2 more to go. And we'll go opposite again. This is stinking cute. Stinking cute. All right, let's fluff him out. And I will put one over here. Look at that. Look at that. Just kind of circling around. This is the tallest point, and they just kind of taper up and taper down. Get my last one. Oh, that's cute, y'all. We haven't even got finished yet. I'm loving it. Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead and decide what direction we want Miss Ladybug going. She's going to cover up all the action, so I think she looks cute kind of coming up. It's like this is the mama, that's the baby. Now, before we go any further, I need to add my ribbons because I really want to have some ribbons tucked in behind her. So start thinking about that. I picked out 3 that I thought would be super cute together. A black and white stripe, a red little gingham check, and this one has ladybugs on it. So let's just start off with some tails coming down. So I'm going to pull her off and just think, I'm going to put her to the side here. Oh, I'm going to fix my sign. I'm always bumping my sign. All right. Let's pretend like she's at the top of the door and the door is sideways here so you can get a feel of how this is going to look. So I want the tails to come down the door quite a ways, you know, like make it dramatic. So decide how long you want yours. That would be right there. And I'm just going to pleat that. Okay. And then we're just going to spin this around. These are just tails, no loops yet. And we'll get an idea of the length. Okay, so I think these are probably around 20 inches because that's kind of the look I've been liking lately. And I'm cutting these at opposite angles to each other here. Okay, so there's my first bit of a tail that's going to just hang straight down right there. And what I'm going to do is just tuck that in with a floral pin. So here's a floral pin. I'm going to just put it through the ribbon. Just go through the center right here and add some glue to your pin. All right, I'll just bring my bamboo stick over. I don't usually like to dunk that in the glue pot because I might get ribbon all gluey. Tuck that underneath. Look at that, beautiful. And I'll push it in. Now, I want to come in with the Ladybug and just have her be a little bit shorter now. And I want to cut that tail to match. You could do these all layered up. I'm going to do them individually so that I can have one a little higher, one a little bit lower on my foam. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So measure it out. Just scrunch it right there. That's my top. Bring the other piece down. Okay, super, and cut it at an angle. And I just like to cut those to match. All right, and let's put this, that one was at the very back of the foam. Let's put this kind of in the medium top section of the foam. We still got another layer of ribbon to put on also. I'm gonna dip this one first, and then I'll just go right over my ribbon. She's so cute. She's so adorable. Look at her go. Push her in, nice. Okay, oh gosh, that's cute. Now, we gotta have this little gingham in there. And this one, I think I'll just do one piece. Actually, we'll do two. We'll do one a little bit longer and a little shorter. I'm getting creative now. So cut one where one's a little longer and a little shorter, okay? So we still have the little pleat here like we've been doing. And this one I'm gonna put right down the center. I'll show you why in a little bit. So we're kind of just layering up these tails. And now I'm gonna pin this one in. So we can just build it up. Now watch this. Watch how cute this is. I'm gonna get me like a little wire, or you could get a little stick from your pieces that you cut apart earlier. And let's just curl this dude up. Curl him, curl him, curl him. Curl, 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 curl. You can do it in your fingers too. Curl it, curl it, curl it. Just curling it on my stick. It's gonna be so cute. Just gently slide it off. Oh my gosh. And gently pull it out from the bottom here. Ready? Oh, sugar dooger. That's cute. Oh my gosh. You can do the same thing with this one. Couple of curls, depending how tight you want it. I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit looser. Alright. Look how cute! Okay, and just slide that out. And pull that down. So you get a nice little cute little tight curl. Gently pull it. Gently, gently, gently. And you can curl it back on itself or those a little more perfect. There we go. Let me just curl this one back a little bit and fluff them out, you know, pull them. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so our killer tails are ready, and they're not even gonna be part of the bow because we're not gonna make a traditional bow on this. We're gonna make just a fun little loopy bow at the top. So we decided we like Mrs. Butterfly in the upward position. So I want you to decide however you want her. You can go straight. It's up to you, whatever you want. I'm going to put her a little bit cockeyed this direction. So she'll look like that with the tails coming down. And I'm not gluing her yet. I'm just setting her there. Let's go ahead and make our 3-loop bow for the top here. I'm just going to layer a couple of ribbons together. Let's start with the stripe. I know I'd like a little tail shooting up just a little bit here, so I'm just going to measure how far I want it and pleat that up. Something like that. That would be cute if it kind of came up here to her head. Okay, so just take that. That's just scrunched, and I'm going to give it a flip. I'm going to do a nice little loop, scrunch. I'm Let's do one more. I'm gonna twist it. How cute is that? Scrunch it. So like a tail up, tail down type look. Like this. And I'm just going to cut that tail at an angle also. Let's pin her in. Okay, so I'll slide her out of the way. And I'm going to pin this loop in independently up here at the top. So I'm getting it some glue. No cable tie, no nothing, just pinning this into the top of the foam. Just spread these apart, go over the center of the bow and push it in. Oh my gosh, see how whimsical and fun that is? And the loops are just kind of working around. Look how cute. Curly, whirly, curly. That looks great. Now, let's grab our ladybug ribbon. Let's make like, maybe like a one loop, one tail. This is where you can freestyle whatever you want, guys. There's one loop, one tail. I mean, one loop, two tails. And we can pop that right in there. And I will just take and trim one tail a little shorter than the other. You're going to pin that in too. Just work it into your foam. Going into the hot glue. And we'll take and spread this one apart and just go over the center of that bow and push it into your base. There's that little loop, and I'll take and curl that tail. Oh, cute. And of course now we need our little ribbon to pop in also. And this one I'm just going to totally use as tails. So I have taken and cut probably like a 24-inch piece here. Take and pleat it, and we'll tuck it in with our floral pin. So this is a floral pin. If you didn't know what those are, they're little like a U-shaped pin. You can buy those at your local craft store. I'm just going to push that into the top. Now take and curl these either by hand or by, I'm going to just do this one by hand. You can use your sticks too if you want them tighter. And then if you'll just take and wrap them around something, they'll hold. Okay. Look how cute that is. Okay, let's take this one, maybe go a little more this way with it. Just to be a little whimsical over here. All right. We've got some little cute daisies I want to add in too. So let's take a look at where my girl's going. She's tucking in here up by the bow. Off to the side, oh my gosh. Off to the side is what we're thinking with her. Like this. So, you know what? Let's put her in. We'll tuck the daisies around her. And then we'll know exactly where we want to add that pop of white from the little daisies. So turn her over, and we're going to add a floral pin to the back of her. She does have some fabric back here. So go ahead and pre-punch a hole and make sure you can get through it, okay? And I can. So I've got one U-pin in here, and I'm going to take and bend it up a little bit. And then we'll be pushing that right into the foam. Just need to glue this one in. You just put in first. So I'm going to dip it in the glue. And we'll push that one in first. So basically we're going to make our own U-pin on her. So we've got one so far. Can you see it right there? All right, we're going to do one more. So you just take your U-pin and you just take and fold like one going the other way, and I'm going to punch a hole and send this one into the fabric. We'll go the other way. So we're making like one big U-pin. Oh, make sure you can punch through the fabric. There we go. With the glue. All right, so then you have these two pieces of wire that can go directly into the foam. So make sure you're using a nice big chunky piece of foam so they don't push through. I'm going to put some glue on these. All right, so just take and put the glue on just like that. Wiggle it around. That'll be all underneath. You won't see any of it. Okay, and push it in. This is where you got to think about your direction. So let's pretend like she's hanging straight on the door. Do I want her down? Do I want her up? Oh, let's go wild. Let's send her down to the center. I changed it up on y'all. If you left the video early, you didn't know. Boom! Keleas made a change. Oh, that's cute. You can do whatever you want with that part right there, guys. However you're feeling it. Okay, I just want to add that little pop of white daisy now to give us some pop of white. And I think this is so cute. This is called, I think it's called like a wild daisy. It is just a fun pop of creaminess. So these all can be cut off individually. Just make sure wherever you make the cuts that you have some firmness to be able to put it into the foam. So I'm going to take and just cut these off like this. And we can gently spread these around. Look how cute. Y'all, these 30-minute projects, our Simple Saturday projects, are fun. You can whip these out any Saturday. If you need a link to the supply list, you know we've got that available for you. Just let us know in the comments. We'll get you a link. You can always email us too if you're having trouble finding anything. All right, let's give it some motion. I'm going to get this one coming up just a little bit. How about coming right out of the top of this fun bow? I think that'd be fun. So I gave it a dip in the glue, and now I'm coming over. I'll pop this right in the top. Oh my gosh, how cute. Love that, the pop. Oh, it's cute coming to the center. How about something coming down here? I'm going to take that one and just give it some motion coming up. All right. And reach in, find that foam, and then push it in. You need to hear that crunch so you know it's going in good. Spread that guy out. That's so precious. We definitely need one coming down between our ribbons, breaking those planes of the ribbons. She went for a dip in the glue, and now she's coming up here. And you've got to go around our ribbon, because remember, we have all those ribbon pins in there. So tuck it in and around. It'd be really cute if that kind of went around this one. Kind of give it some action. And I'll bring some of these florals in front of these ribbons also. So they're kind of cupping her. They're kind of coming up. Here's a little bit of a longer one. Give it that motion up. Let's come in around. And you can add as much little greenery and little accent pieces as you want. If you had some small little ladybugs, you could pop in some of those. Whatever you wanted to do. This is where you can shine however you want to do it. Oh my goodness, my Keleas.com is getting the boot. All right. Let's have this longer one come out above the bow up here. How cute. Okay. I've got one more. Let me take a look and see where I might have any pieces we need to change or move. I'm liking it. She's cute. Let's see how she's going to look over here. I love it. You lay her down. She is super cute. You're going to be able to see her ladybug body really good and her little baby here. Let's put this last daisy right in here. I think that would be really cute. And the last step you'd want to do is just walk around your piece and see if you can see any of your foam from the sides or angles. If you can, take and fill it either with some moss or some leaves, because we always want to keep our mechanics tight and clean so that it looks really professional. Look here. What do you think? What do you think? I think it turned out amazing, y'all. Amazing. So, y'all, let's get rocking. I picked out an 18-inch wreath base. We're going to go bigger on this one, mainly because we made a really big bow on Bow Wednesday. Hey, Angel, sneaking in at work. I'm so glad you're here. Your work is going to be like 3 times as productive when you're watching, or at least listening to Keleas talk about flowers in her garden and her neighbor giving her plants. This is all worth it. This is our diva, you know, our drama bow we made on Bow Wednesday, and we put that harlequin in there. So we added all this drama, and there's bees in here, okay? Now let me show you these adorable bees. These got here not too long ago, and they're super duper cute. TikTok friends, here's the bow over here too. Isn't that great? It's very dramatic. We made that live with you guys on Wednesday night. Now, we have these super adorable bees that I want to pop in here. So the whole base, we're going to make it with the vibe of bees and beautiful flowers. And I thought, we've been doing a lot of neutrals, of course, but yellow functions really well as a neutral, and it looks great on people's doors in the summer. So think bright yellow. We're going to use a daisy mixed bush with some creams and a cream and white greenery. Yeah, Bev, awesome, girl. Get those succulents and play with them. Whatever you're creating with. I mean, have fun, have fun. Hello from Mississippi. Awesome. I'm glad you're watching. Right, Monica? You got to pick it up and fluff it immediately. So I'm going to put my Diva Bebo off to the side and let's get going. Hi, Lori. Hey, Triple D. Good to see you. Prayers for our friend Linda. More love headed her way. Hey, Sherry. Good to see you. Okay, so I'm going to use this kind of as my higher end greenery in here, and then I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the lower end greenery. You're going to have a nice combination. So let's go ahead and tear this up, get this going. I might be a little awkward working sitting, but I'm going to find a way. It just feels good to sit, guys. Oh my gosh, you're dog sitting, Linda? I love it. Give extra lovies to those grand doggies and kitties. Hey, Karen. Isn't it going to be fun? I think we're going to have a blast making this. So, oh, I'm so sorry about your loss. Oh no, I'm glad you're here to hang out and just let's freestyle and take your mind off all the worries of the world for a little bit. That's what I'm called to do, and so that's what we're going to do it. So I've got this daisy bush. I got a couple of greeneries, a fancy greenery, a little less expensive greenery. And then I thought we could pick this up. Maybe we'll have some of the bees hovering around this. This is like oh shoot. It's just like a little bloom, but it's all green. I can't think of the name right now. Brain damage. Oh, I just saw somebody was checking in from Alberta. Hey, Janine. Good to see you. Glad you're here hanging out with us. Let's take and trim this down. We'll start with this bush. I cut it all off the stem. Let me get these taggy out of here. Hi, Christy. All right. So, let's see how we do sitting here doing this. Totally different for me. So, I usually am going to design on the left side of the wreath. That's my go-to. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start there. Now, we made that bow, the bee bow, on Wednesday. So, it's a 7-incher. It's a big guy. So, we're going to keep him nice and... we're going to have to keep this bow and this wreath big. Yeah, you guys, if you're watching later on the replay, say hello. Kimmy, allium, I think you're right. It's an allium. Don't forget to say hola and como esta and all that stuff because we want to welcome you always. Hi, Teresa. I'm so glad you're here. Recovery is going well. Hey, Gerda. Yeah, we're freestyling. We're freestyling sitting down. I mean, I went hard yesterday, but this girl hit the wall. Hit the wall today. Mama says, uh-oh, no. Take it easy. Thank you for the speedy recovery wishes, Laura. You're so sweet. Hi, Kim. Okay, got my 2 bottom pieces in. That looks pretty good. Pretty good for doing it upside down. Now, these are a little short, so let me cut up another bush. Full disclosure, that bush was already partially cut, so I don't know that you're going to need 2 bushes. We'll see when it all comes down to it. I'm going to cut a couple off here. Y'all, we do go ahead and text out the supply list to people on the text list, so we will do that when we're all done. So you can see exactly what we used, and there's always a link to the video within the supply list. So you'll want to come over to Keleas.com to check all that out. Right? Thank you for, did you make it, I'm about to create a small bouquet for the memorial table. Nice. Oh my gosh, Linda, there's new floors coming in. Oh, nice. Well, that's exciting. Hey, Judy. Hey, Ginger. I'm trying to take it easy, but I also get stir crazy, so then I'll pay for that. Right? I'm going slow. Going slow. Literally. Going slow in designing and making. I'm literally having to look at my camera to see the placement. I can see it a little here, but I'm sitting down. But let's go up here. I'm going to go to the top. Press this in. Y'all, we got some sweet emails while I've been injured and out a little bit. I appreciate all the love, the flowers, all the sweet things you guys have done for me. It's amazing. I appreciate this community more than you will ever know. And thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I put a little bit more in. We're kind of shaping out the base. So this is less expensive. Since I'm making this one, oh, I think the glue is pretty hidden. We're good. I'm making this one for the store. I want to think about, you know, my costs. Sometimes when I'm making it for Etsy, I want to make something higher end. But then if I want to make something a little less expensive, I'm going to start with the background of a less expensive greenery. Okay, that's a little treat because then we'll lay the more expensive on top. It'll fill in the back and you won't really notice it. This is a good greenery. It's just not, it's not getting all the fun berries and stuff. Hello, good to see you here. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, Ginger. I am a trooper, right? Carol, you love how protective Ari was. You know, Nori is more than Ari. Nori is more protective than Ari. It is crazy. And then Ari gets mad that Nori is barking at Daddy. It's hilarious. Then there's a whole, like, you know, a cloud of dust under the pillows in the bed because they're having a fight to protect Mommy from Daddy. Hola, Eve. Good to see you. Okay, I think that's a good amount. Okay, now let's put in some of that little fancier greenery next. Let's layer it on. Let's get it over here. How you guys doing on TikTok? If you have questions, ask. Absolutely anytime. Sorry the table's a hot mess, but Klee needs everything where she doesn't have to move to get to it. So let's go ahead and shape this all out. Hi, Brenda. Thanks, Ann. Thanks for the love and the hugs. You guys are awesome. If y'all could do me a favor and spread the love around, it would really help later for the replay and help us keep everything rolling over here on our end. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that one. So we're just going to kind of layer this on top. Okay. I'm going to go right in here. Y'all know why I generally don't sit down making is because it eventually hurts my shoulders. But I don't have to make a million wreaths. Just have to get through one. All right, next one. Let's take another piece here. And these can break into smaller pieces. I think I will break this one into two. Let's do that. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, Patty, make sure you let us know on the text list too. So we're giving out sweet treats. Your name will pop up, okay? Thanks, Monica. You're awesome. So in design school, this is the part I would say we're shaking hands with it. It's not the exciting part of the design, but you have to do it. You're paying good money for these supplies, and you've got to make sure you're not just shoving them in just because you're like, oh, I'm shoving it. You've got to pay attention to the texture. And look how far that's coming up. Can you tell? Yeah, it needs to do that. It needs to be coming up nicely. And utilize those wires. Okay, we got two in, top, bottom so far. This one I'm going to divide up into 3 sections, I believe. So even though this is a fancier greenery, I'm getting 3 different sections out of one piece of it. So that's cool. I think I used it pretty whole last time. So I'm going to hold these 2 smaller pieces off to the side because we'll probably want to pop some of those in somewhere else later. Let's put this in next. Hey, Deborah. You guys, what is on the weekend plan list? I know it's Friday. I know it's full summer for a lot of folks. Are you going to run around with the grandkids or the kiddos? Are you going to be out? Is it too early for vacation for you guys? Are you staycationing? All right. That looks pretty good. We got a little bit of that spread all around. Okay. Hydration time. Hydration time. Now, before we go too far, let me lay my bow in there. Since we're freestyling, I have no idea exactly what I want to do. And I could at any time throw out a supply and be like, yeah, nope, not using that anymore. But we know we're establishing the whole design around the bow and the bee. Oh my gosh, so cute. This is our big honker bow that we know is going to go in the middle. So I think we're good with filling in greenery around that. So I was trying to see where our bees are going to go. And I think we will have some high and low, leaving on that little section open. So let's get this bee pick taken apart. This is a big pick, a lot going on here. I feel like we could probably get more than one project out of this. So let me take and separate it into, let me just take off one of these sprays. Oh, that sounds nice, Cynthia. Hi, Deborah. Thank you, Penny. Graduation party, we have that too tomorrow. We've got Marley's graduation. It's exciting. So excited. Can't believe she's 17, graduated, going off to college. It's crazy. Hey, Blanche. All right, let's take these. And I'm shaping them up. And I think we're going to want this to kind of come out up here at the top. Out of the top of the bow. But I want to get some of those yellow daisies in first. So we'll either use one or two of these. I'm going to put that off to the side. So we're going to use almost the whole pick. We might cut that down a little bit. I want to have a touch of those, but I don't need those to be taking over. And these would look really cute in that yellow bucket I have that I haven't used yet. I'll have to do that in the next video. Okay, now we're going to use these daisies. I'm going to push. This bush is a pusher, so we're going to keep these beautiful greeneries and just use these, push these up to the top. Laura, you love the big bow? Nice. Carol's got a birthday swim party for the youngest granddaughter. I love it, Carol. Hey, Betty. Cynthia's grandson baseball game? That's awesome. It's that time of year, isn't it? Baseball is going. Even the all-star games and all that are happening in our area. Okay, so I pushed them all down, guys, so that the greenery can be up closer to the head. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to keep my design from looking so clustered down here with 57 different greeneries and make it look messy. So keep those to the top of the head. Thanks, Connie. Good to see you. All is well. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks for asking about my knee. We were talking about it earlier. It's healing up. I'm doing fine. Just today I'm sitting down. Yesterday I was standing. It could go either way. Ask me, you know, every other few hours, right? Monica, you get irritated with the florals that collapse. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, and if you don't like the greenery, just pull those leaves off. Get rid of it. It goes okay with our design, so we're not freaking out about it. But get rid of it. Just pull it off, save those leaves for something else. Christy's got a birthday party. I love it. Happy birthday for your grandson. Y'all are got busy weekends. The new shelving that's been on order for a couple of months is finally coming to the warehouse, so we are so excited. And we were able to get more warehouse space to handle all the back orders of orders that have come so late that we've been dealing with since last year. And we think we're going to get it all under control, guys. We think. Cross fingers. Okay. Daisy and I think it's both daisies, kind of a mix here. Okay, and so when you have a mix of florals, I'm gonna have to pay attention as I take and put these into each section of the wreath. I'm gonna make my own little clusters as I do that. Oh, I like how these are come spaced out. Oh, I like that. Because look, I can put a daisy right between. Yes. Right? Ramona, 55th high school graduation reunion. No way you've been out of high school 55 years, Ramona. You lie. Don't be trying to come on here and show off, Ramona. It's more like 25, maybe 30. Congratulations. Enjoy. That is so fun. Wanda is starting to love yellow. Well, you know, it always sells very well for me. I think it's because it comes off people's doors really nicely. And so, y'all, if you're going to make wreaths and you're going to sell them, the most wonderful thing you can do is have a wreath that you've made on somebody's door, and then their neighbor come over and be like, I love your wreath, because then it immediately validates that person's purchase. They're so excited that they have it, and they want more. So that the showier the wreath is to the street, the better chances of that happening, right? Oh, look, I can put one in the middle. We can cluster that up. And I'm gonna add a little white to each of these. So I'm making my own little clusters. Pay attention, I've got a little height, a little lower when I'm creating those. Hey, Alyssa. I'm so glad you're here too. I'm enjoying my crafting again, of course. Especially my floral design, you know. You think that's a black-eyed Susan? I don't think it is. It might be trying to be one. We could call it that, Connie. We'll go with that. Because that sounds more exciting than Daisy Daisy. Oh, Kimmy, she can't travel? Okay, well, I'm glad she's okay. Maybe you can make up with it just a big party after the baby arrives. Maybe you can make it extra special later. Okay, let me get some more moss in here. Let's put... Oh, I like that already. That looks pretty. It's coming together pretty good. Patty's getting ready for an event tomorrow, your Watermelon Crawl Festival. Nice! Patty, I hope it goes so well if you're having a booth. And you just have a blast and meet lots of new potential customers. Janine, you're going to do tie-dye? Oh my gosh, girl, you better glove up. Oh, Linda, thank you. Oh, girl, nothing's going to keep... I mean, I'm going to try not to let anything keep me down. Thank you, thank you. Okay, here's another one. Let's have... How many do I have left? I still got plenty. So let's put the third one kind of down here. It might be covered by the bow slightly, but I think if we put it right there, that'll be nice and full. So I'm going to leave these stems just a little bit longer. It seems like, to anybody else, does it seem like the year has flown by in some ways and crawled by in others? Or does it always do that? Is that always the MO? Tell me what you think, guys. I'm going to go in here. Enter those together. Use lots of glue on these because I like to keep them from shifting. So put your moss on the top to sandwich them in. Hey, Sherry. Good to see you. Hope you're having a super day. Glad you could join us for Freestyle Friday. We're freestyling out. Letting our troubles go away. Playing with fake flowers. Then we go outside later, play with real flowers. Okay, that looks pretty good. It might look a little wonky here on camera, but we're going to have a bow tail going behind that. Okay, let's rotate it. I'm going to work on the top part now. Let's get into here, okay? Let me bring my daisies down here. My black-eyed Susans and my daisies. I like Connie's suggestion. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, cheers, y'all. I'm having some more water. You'll notice I announce when I'm having water. When I'm having Dr. Pepper, I'm like sliding it in on the side. Oh. When you have to fill out the forms for the hospital, you know, it says, yeah, do you do drugs? Do you smoke? And then it's like, do you drink caffeine? And I'm like, why is that in the same column as drugs and smoking? And then I'm like, yes, I do. My drug of choice. I'm like, I'm proudly filling it out on the paperwork. Like, yes, caffeine. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Let's put this in towards the top up here. And I can't wait to put our bees in here in a second. Let's go right in here. Patty, you have a booth. You've been working on a lot of patriotic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Patriotic. This is the go time. You're perfect. Go time. Patriotic and everyday, Patty. Those are the things. You can also go with summer themes, you know, watermelons, bees, ladybugs, geraniums, sunflowers. All of that kind of stuff is good in the summer also. You will be good. See, this leaf is not one to stay up there. Just take it off. Right, Connie? You got the coffee? Oh, yeah. I got the tea and the Dr. Pepper. And anything else that has caffeine. I confess, I confess. Let's put a couple of daisies in this one. Ooh, thanks for all the love. I see a lot of love coming in. Alright, let's go higher with this one. Let me see how we're looking on camera. Guys. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. This is not in our wreath. I don't think we're going to use that one. I'm going to pull that off. So, Nicole, so far we've got one of everything except for the Simlax, or the green, the less expensive green one. Cookeville, Tennessee. Oh, nice, Patty. I hope you guys have nice weather and a lovely turnout. A lot of fun. It's always fun if you're having fun while you're working your event and making some money. It's just a good feeling. And we would always say, hey, we're gonna, if we had a good day, we'd be like, we're gonna eat good tonight, y'all. At the craft show, we would celebrate. Patty, you have the variety? Yes! Yay! Perfect. I think you're setting yourself up for success. Yeah, we talk about, you know, in at Coach Klee, we're talking about this week, actually, in the business coaching regarding you have to be so far ahead in the online game, but in the actual physical event arena, you can get ahead, and that's fine, but people want stuff they can buy and take home and put up like right now. So that's why you got to have a combination of all of those things. But online, you got to be working ahead. Y'all, I got my moss bucket under the desk today, so it's not filling up the table too. I got to have my my BFF Betty in Georgia make me a new table, because when we made this table for me to do live videos, I say we, Betty made it. Y'all know I'm not building anything. Let's be real. She made it for me. And we thought it was plenty big, but you know what? Now I've got too many cameras. We've got a camera here. We got a camera here. We got stuff going everywhere, so we got to think where, you know, I need it bigger. Connie, you remember my huge booth set up at the shows? Yay, Connie! Yes. Big shows. Okay, guys, forgive me for a second. I want to turn it towards me and take a look at my length on the bottom here. Oh my gosh, it's pretty good for sitting down. Haha. Pretty good. Way to go, Keleas. I call myself Keleas in third person because people always well, they don't accent. They pronounce my name Keleas. So I'll be funny. You have the bees? Awesome. We're going to put the bees in this wreath in just a second. So I've got 2 daisies left. Of the 2 bushes, I've got a little bit of this greenery left, not too much. I did not start with 2 full bushes, though, so you could probably get away with 1 bush of that. But technically, I have cut up 2. Or 1.5. And then this right here is left over from the first bush we put in. Okay? We've got our green alliums. Thank you, Carol, I think told me that, or Patty. And then we've got our bees. Okay? So I'm thinking before we put anything else in, I want to put the bow in because I want to figure out what real estate it's going to take up, and then we'll fill around with these. Makes sense? Can I get some thumbs up, some hearts on the screen over here on the TikTok, some love over on YouTube. Don't forget, it's about info with the what, Nikki? Oh, yes. So, guys, we got info in the bio for you on TikTok now. We are getting with it. We're like real influencers. What? Okay, let's cut out 2 of these. I might cut that down a little. I'm going to use 2 bees. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. Coming out here. These will be so cute. I'm saving whatever bees we have left for my bee bucket. So I think we're going to go kind of light. I think I want to use 3 bees at the top and 2 at the bottom. Or maybe, no, let's just use 3 bees. I'm going to save all of those. We're going to spread the bee love out. So I'm going to take I'm just going to pull these off. I have to think about my strategy for placement here. All right, let's separate these out, clean up their stems. Let's put the bow in, and then we'll come back and place that in. And then I want to put the alliums in for just this pop of green in the background. Because this is a bougie bee bow. We went fancy with that Harlequin in there, and this needs to be at an angle. So I'm going to come in slightly angled. Oh my gosh, so stinking cute for a table wreath. I like it. So far, so good. I'm a little slower when we're working on the table, but that's all right. What size is my grapevine? So it's an 18-incher. I generally use 18 and 14s. We did the wreath at, no, I'm sorry, we did the bow at 7 inches on the big loop-de-loop. Ida says, is it ever okay to fill out all around the grapevine? Yeah, sure, Ida. We've got lots of videos. If you want to see some videos of going all the way around, we sure do. When I first got with Honey Bunny, he said to me, how come you don't go all the way around the wreath? I'm like, because circle wreaths are for, you know, beginner. No, there's nothing wrong with circle wreath. I'm weird. I want things asymmetrical. I mean, my garden out there, y'all, is just a beautiful mounding of beautifulness and overlapping lines and breaking the plane, just like I floral design. So that's why I do it on one side a lot. But we've got lots of fun videos going all the way around. Carol says, I think you can create beautiful things blindfolded. Carol, it's the glue. It's the glue. Dixie, we do have the bees in stock. Yeah, we'll post a supply list. We'll send it out to that text list as soon as we're done. So if you're not on our text list, grab a spot at textkelea, TEXTKELEA.com. Okay, I'm curling tails. I'm going to leave the Harlequin, I think, just going down low here. And let's bring it around. Oh, cute in there. I love it. I love it. I like that Harlequin. I think it just adds that pop of drama we're looking for. Oh my goodness. Let me pull this a little more to the center. I want that bow a little more to the center. Okay. Looking pretty good. All right, let's get the bees in. I like it. I like it. I'm definitely out of my comfort zone on a Freestyle Friday sitting and designing, but it's coming together pretty good. All right. Little beesies. You have a moss bucket, Ida? Yes! Yes, of course you do. You gotta get our gorgeous moss. Our moss comes from Mexico, and it is gorgeously dyed, fresh, beautiful. I love our moss. And I think we still have, I think we're running out of one color, but we still have chartreuse and light green. I think, or either light green or dark green is running low. But we still have inventory now. Okay. I'm going to bring that bee up a little bit. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She's so cute. And their little wings are wired. I just get a kick out of little things that have accents with the wire. It makes me so happy. This is turning out pretty cute. Pretty cute and fun. Yeah, I've been selling those bee door hangers at the store and online, so bees are still real popular, guys. So if you've got any bee stuff, I'd make it. If you're doing any craft shows, get it in your booth, get it made. It's still gonna sell this summer. You love when I sing. Oh, thank you. If I'm singing, you know, I'm relaxing and having a good time. I don't even know what I'm saying. My daughter just cringes. Yeah, Connie, I'm still in the, that's the painted tree there in Katy. Yes, yes. It's really fun. I love to go restock and get it all filled up. And I've been enjoying and sharing that with Design School, the journey of working in real time with a store like that. Since I hadn't been in a store in a while. And that's been a lot of fun because I can share my experiences and what to look for, what to expect. So, oh my gosh, I got my 3 going. I know when you get your moss on us, y'all, here's what we're talking about. So this is a cute bucket that I think I just kept. This is one we used to make arrangements in. I did some wildflower buckets in this. It's kind of like galvanized, but it's got these cute little handles. And you know what? I put it right under my wreath making stand usually. And here's my moss bucket. Yeah, cool. That's what we're talking about. Oh, thanks, Connie. I have fun, you know. That's my escape. Just like my garden, I like to escape in there. Okay, and this is very pretty. We could be done here. We could say rock and roll, hoochie coo, let's do it. But nope, nope, nope. We want to put these in. I want these very different texture. Let's have them kind of bubble out the edges and play with them. Let's do it. I ain't gonna push these leaves. These have really cool leaves. These are all plasticky, but they have this, I don't care. They have these cool texture on these leaves. I found the head that goes on here and I put it somewhere. Just found that a second ago and now I've lost it. Do you guys do that? Yes, these products are all available to purchase. What happens is once we get done, we make a supply list for you guys. And the supply list goes out to you. And as long as it's a public supply list, you'll have access to it. If it's a private supply list, that's something that's done specifically for our class. So when we have a paid course that you can take. So if something's done for them, it'll have a password. But if it's a public video like you're watching now, then it won't have a password. We will text it out to the whole text list and let you know, hey, here's the supplies we used. And there's also a link for the video so you can find the content easily. That's all available on Keleas.com. But yeah, we sell all of this. And I am pretty sure, I'm 99% sure it's all available. And unless somebody came in and got it all right as we were going live. Somebody might have sniped y'all like the old eBay style. Ooh, I remember them eBay days when you get in there and you'd be bidding and just get in there and just get in all excited. Anybody still do that? Thank you, Marina, for the prayers. You're awesome. Laura needs to get some bees. Oh, I understand. You know, if you're on a fixed income, a lot of times you can figure out ways to make things too. Or take something like this and make it stretch it out. Like I'm going to stretch that one into 2 projects. You're welcome, Carolyn. These are easy to work with, and I think these are fairly affordable. They're one of those things that if you touch them, you're like, oh, that's 100% plastic. But it's painted good, and that's the difference between the supplies I try to carry. I try to really have highest quality I can with prices within reason. You know, there's higher quality, but man, they're expensive. But you got to watch out when you start using that fancy stuff. You can't go back. You're like, oh no, we can't go back. This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. Okay, I put my first chunky piece in right there. See how that lays really pretty with that ribbon behind it? Let's come in here. Let's put one right across. Where does this ribbon go? This goes on the left, I think. Yeah. So let's go right into there. Hey, Cherie! Marina, aren't the bees adorable? Yes, they are. They're super cute. All right. Hey, Elizabeth. Connie says that's exactly how your booth space feels, like walking through a beautiful garden. Yay! It's always a work in progress. It is. It is. And I don't get to the shop as much as I'd like to, especially since I got my knee surgery. I was getting on a pretty good schedule, and then boom. But Mom's been doing so much stuff with Marley for graduation, but Mom also helped me with it too, so she'll probably help me some more once we get Marley off to college. Carol, you're loving it? Yay! So I've got 2 of those clusters. Now I want you to see how much depth that added. Yeah, it may be kind of hard to see, but it really looks good. It's just a different color green. All right. Let's come up here. Yes, these are what we used in the mauve eucalyptus. I think we did, but I don't know if we used this color. These come in 3 colors. Marina says, you guys have to join design school this fall. Trust me, it's awesome. And you learn so much. Yay! I'm so glad you love it. We keep trying to make it better and better. And I do the best to just be me in there. Just like you guys see me here. I'm the same person everywhere. I'm just a little more teachy in there as far as I teach you the principles. So that way, not only can you learn how to do this one project when you watch me, but now you can take those principles and my little voice is going to be in your head going, are you making a triangle? Are you using the zigzag method? Are you breaking the plane? Oh my gosh. Connie, which school does she choose for school? She is going to end up probably going to Northern Colorado instead of her St. Mary's. It's a long story and it's kind of depressing, so we are not going to talk about it, but fortunately that school up in Minnesota kind of did her wrong, as in they're closing. I mean, it's not just her. They're closing down the program she wanted, so even though she had a full scholarship, it's not going to do her any good. So, yeah, she's going to, well, she's been accepted. It's a long story. We're pretty sure she's going to Northern Colorado. Look how cute those are in there. I love this. So we have two there. We have two there. Now let's get into the bow zone. We're getting into the bow zone. I have a question I missed. Thanks, Sue. Donna says, what do you think about a booth in the hallway walls? Donna, give it a try. Give it a try. And sometimes those types of booths are less expensive and maybe a better starting off point. So, Keleas, go big, go home. I want to make an impact with my booth. So, I have to have space to do that generally. So, when I moved in, I wanted a bigger spot. But when you're first starting, you got to think about, okay, how many wreaths am I going to have to sell a month to actually pay my booth rent and include cost of goods. You can't just be up there and be like, oh yeah, I sold 400 because my booth rent's 400. No, you sold 400, that's great, but there's a cost of that. Oh, that looks good. I put a little greenery in there. We're going to add a little bit more to the bottom. Laura, how much are our bees? I don't know, Laura. I'm not sure how much any of this is. We'll post the supply list when it's all done. Okay? And then you can just purchase it on Keleas.com. That's one nice thing about the supply list. They're just clickable. You don't have to go hunt for any of this. They just make it really easy. Okay, now notice when I got up to the bow, I got super height on this. Okay, so this is thinned out low. We get up to that bow. That bow has all that depth. I can't keep it flat or it looks like there's a, you know, something just shooting off this flat base. So I'm going to turn it to the side so you can see what we're talking about. I want you to see what we're talking about. You see there? So everything's coming up to the height of the bow. We're not letting everything be flat. There's dimension here. Does that make sense? You guys see over here? Yes. Right. Yes. Is there questions about the hot glue? That's electric skillet over here on the other side. Yes. That's an electric skillet. It's used for cooking and it's got hot glue in it. You can see it right here. Yeah. I don't use a glue gun. I've had a couple of hand surgeries, so you're not going to see me pull triggers. Listen, after this knee surgery, you're going to see me. Once I get a surgery, I learn. No more. No, don't do that. So I don't pull triggers on guns because I've had 2 wrist surgeries from overdoing that. And I once saw a supplier using an electric skillet, and they were building beautiful wreaths, and I was like, we can do that? So this was not my idea, but a super, super easy method for doing it. I actually prefer a larger skillet when I'm totally in production mode. But this little guy, my fans and followers suggested, why don't you try a little one for on screen, because it doesn't take up as much room. So most people would probably prefer this little small skillet, because unless you're putting big things in there, you don't necessarily need all the space. Okay. Thank you for the love about Marley. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. You're awesome. Debbie says the supply lists are so helpful. Yay, Debbie. I'm so glad they are. So glad they're serving their purpose. I'm going to put this one down here underneath. Just tuck it in a little. I'm going to use this to kind of hold down that ribbon a little bit more, because I don't want to curl it. I just want it to kind of fall off to the bottom. All right, we just got a few little pieces left. And we're going to pop these in. Yeah, I like these in here. These are tantamount to putting, you know, when you add Christmas balls to a wreath, you might have done that before. This is kind of doing the same thing. Okay? Same thing. It's adding that, it's like a little bitty, it's like a moss ball or a poppy pop of fun. Hey, honey bunny.
Hey.
Did you get a text from anybody? Okay. Paul's supposed to text you when he gets a text from Dirk, or a call from Dirk.
So, live, right?
Yes, I'm live right now.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, Honey Bunny is
Happy
checking.
Friday.
Oh, yay. Y'all give Honey Bunny some love.
I'm going to jump in the river.
He's been busting Tiny, y'all. You know, the guy's got to step up when you broke down. They got to do the kids. Hey, do you need to touch things? I've got a camera here. It's shake it. Please just go on.
Just hold on. Let me help shake it.
No,
Shake.
stop.
Shake.
Stop. Get out of here. You know, I was doing a professional video.
Ah.
It was halfway professional.
Ah.
It was somewhat together.
Adios, amigo.
And there he comes in, just, you know, jeez. Lord, it's 30 seconds of havoc. I know your significant others probably do the same thing. Probably the exact same thing. Jeez. Jeannie says, hi, honey bunny. Jeannie, he couldn't hang around long enough. He just came in and destroyed things. Then had to go. I'm going to add one more here at the bottom. Oh, my word. We can't have anything nice around here. He hit the tripod. There is clearance to get by it. I mean, I can function. I have a bad knee and can function around it. He ran to the... Oh, my word. Right, Marguerite Boyce? Yes. Laura gave her a hi, honey bunny, too. You're so sweet, Laura. Yo, this just started off, you know, kind of basic. And I'm telling you, it is like diva. It's gone to the diva side. I love how we're just chunking it up. It's looking good. All right. We had a couple little pieces of greenery, and I got 2 more daisy pops we're going to put in. Carol's giving Richard a hi, too. You guys are so sweet. All right, let me look at it on camera. Get this tail back over here. I like that. Okay. Yes, Willoughby, like a Tasmanian devil. It's come in, taking the, just go bananas on the joint. I know, right? You guys. I'm so glad you like it. All right, let's take this and break it into 2 sections, okay? It's a little bit long. I'm going to try to soften the edges just a little bit up here. Y'all, I love Freestyle Friday because I can just get lost in the flowers. Don't worry about any troubles. Have a good time with you guys. Thank you, Marina. And you have a hubby like mine. No, he's, you know, I love him. Let's add that there. So we added a couple little pieces down there. Now I got my little daisies, and I think we're going to come in with these and around the bow. Okay? Let's pop these in. I might start liking wreathing sitting down. Probably not. Only when I'm in pain. Oh, all right. The only thing about when you come back to the bow, guys, you got to come back in and always be fluffing your ribbons up. That's okay. Thanks, Desiree. I'm glad you like it. Let's go right between these 2 in here. See if I can just feel it go into that grapevine. I want to make sure it's going into the grapevine. Because if it goes under the bow, there's a nice cable tie there holding it. Oh, it's not going. Oh, there we go. I'm going to bend it up a little bit. So I like this design. We really went into the pieces of the bow, and it looks like it's just a garden growing together. That's kind of been our theme for today. I'm so glad my neighbor gave me her cast-off plants, because it kind of set the spark going for this one. What do you think? You guys can grab a screen grab now if you want. Isn't this fun? It is so much fun. Thanks, Desiree. I hope you loved it. I enjoyed so much making with you. Right? Be nice to the nurse, right? Just suck it up, right, Carol? Oh, y'all, it turned out super cute. And I think it was fun adding just a touch of the little whimsical bees that go with our bee ribbon. It just turned out really super cute. Uh-oh, and you see my hands loaded with goodies. You know what that means. We're getting ready to make a new kit. You can get it right here at Keleas.com, and we're going to make it together. This one is going to turn out amazing. Yeah, in our kit, you're going to get everything you need to make it, including 4 coordinating rolls of ribbon, all these florals, this base. Yep, all you're going to need is some wire cutters, scissors, and a little floral foam, and you are going to be able to make this on your own. So come on in here. Let's have some fun with flowers. Hey guys, I'm Klee, and today we're making our Welcome to our Hive kit. This is super cute. It's got a bee theme, and we've got some great florals, and yes, we're going to make the cutest bows. Let me show you these. Look at this. Look at these. We're going to be putting those on there, and in your kit you also get these guys right here. We're going to be adding some bigger bees to this project. This is going to turn out adorable, and don't forget, all 4 rolls of ribbon come in the kit also. So you are literally going to have everything you need to make this project, and you'll have a little left over to do something else coordinating for your home. So come on, let's have fun with flowers. Okay, Glimmernos, the first thing we want to do with this is I'm going to make a little bit heavier dutier hanger to go on here to help stabilize this when it hangs. So the easiest way to do that is I'm going to try to just gently pull off this top part without destroying it too much. It might pull off a little bit of the edge, but we're just going to wiggle that off. And then the jute hanger, we're going to gently pull that off. Now this is made of like a foam, so when we get ready, we're going to have to fill that in with glue because it's got a nice little edge, but I don't want to see that. Let me grab my garbage. Oh, here it is. So I pulled that off. And now, because I am going to sell mine, I want to make sure I have a nice finished top on there. So what we're going to do is start off by adding a wire hanger. And I'm going to use this 18 gauge wire, and we're going to cut that like in half here. Probably got about 8-10 inches of it. And we're going to just make our own hanger at the top. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the glue. And I'm going to push this in the left side, and it's going to go in between the wood and the foam and everything really easy. And then I'm going to put this one in the right side. So you want to get some heavy duty wire. This is 18 gauge. It's always my favorite. And I have just hit that with the glue there. And we're going to press that in. And I love these type of bases because they're strong, but when they're foam, we can attach stuff right to them. Okay, so that's our little top. Now what I want you to do is take some Spanish moss. So the wire and the Spanish moss, wire cutters, and that kind of stuff are not going to come with your kit. Those are things we have always in our wreath making repertoire. So we've got those for our basic supplies. So I'm going to add this on here too. And I'm going to use a little of that moss to cover up the foam, but then I also want to just cover up all of this here. I don't want to see any of that. I love Spanish moss to camouflage glue. We use it in design school to help support our stems and our placement. It's just one of those pieces we're always going to have. So look, after we took the bow off this one, then we were able just to cover that up, and it looks nice and neat and clean and ready to go. So our next step is to kind of start laying out our design. Now I'm going to hang this on my top screw here, so it might wiggle around a little because I'm not taking that middle screw off. I leave it on all the time, but just know it will hang flat when we get done with it. So the next step is to grab your floral foam. So I like to use this green floral foam. It's my favorite kind. It's not made like Oasis. It's not to take water. It is to use with the silk flowers. And as long as we glue things into it, this is just an excellent tip. As long as you use hot glue into this foam, it really holds up very well. And you can go with smaller pieces of this on your design. We don't need huge chunks. Smaller pieces that allow us to design this pretty well. So this is just kind of a scrap piece. And I'm going to cut it into a couple of sections. And what you want to do is decide where you want your bows to go on your design. You can do it exactly like me, or you can do your own version. So I'm going to put one little section up here and one down here. And it's important that we go opposite each other, not just for looks in this case, but because if we don't, we are going to have it leaning to one direction or the other. So we've got to kind of go opposite. So I'm going to cut this and just to some like 2 by 2 blocks right here. And we're going to put those on opposite each other, okay? So I'm cutting a couple of those up. I'll save this one for later. And we're going to go ahead and glue these on our base opposite each other. So I'm going to put one down here where I've got my curly, cute little bee flying. I love that. So we'll just start to wiggle it in, all right? Now what I want you to do is grab out of your wreath making supplies your little wood skewers. You should have some wood skewers for barbecuing. That's a staple around here. And I want you to take and pop one of those in through to the back, into that foam, but don't come all the way out the back. So if you got a little too far, back it up. All right, back it in. I got aggressive. So now what's happening is that's making it all stable, so it all stays together, right? And I'm gonna cut that off. And then my first piece is in, okay? If you do go through the back, you can always cut that off too. We're gonna try to keep it neat and clean though. All right, we said we gotta work opposite. So I'm gonna put this one up here between the welcome to our hive, the words up there at the top. I think we'll go a little bit higher. We'll kind of overlap that bee a little. We're going to put a lot of bees. This kit comes with all kind of bees. So let's put it up there. Now I'm going to do the same concept. This time I'm going to try a metal floral pin. They're a little bit shorter, and we'll try to kind of go from the side. And the reason I'm using more than just hot glue is I'm a big proponent of keeping things super well constructed, so that if you sell your work like I do, I feel like it's going to hold up for several seasons for my customers, and I just want to have the best quality I can. And so just be careful. I'm going to grab the foam and just pop that in from the side. So this is what we got. What do you think? We got it? Yeah, both little blocks of foam are on. Now, I'm going to go a little bit lower here, so make sure you can see that okay. You can. Let me just zoom in a little. Now, I am going to take right now, while that glue is hot anywhere and showing, and I want to put a little Spanish moss on it just to hide it while it's tacky. Okay? And you may not have much showing, but whatever you do, let's try to hide it. We try to get this one a little bit higher with the welcome there. We're going to cover welcome a little bit, but you could go up a little higher if you're worried about that. I like to make things layered, so it's totally normal for me to do that. All right, next step. We are going to come in, and we've already made our bows, so I want you to kind of look at how those are going to look on here. Now, the bows are made on different videos, so we will have them linked on the supply list for this project. Y'all, the wind is whipping and blowing out there. It is whipping, so I'm sorry to hear the, it's blowing the door. But I want you to think about your bow size. If you make the bows like us, we need to kind of see how big they're going to be. Wait to see how pretty these are. Oh, and we did the bows on another video. So they're 2 separate videos, and you can watch those. We'll have them linked on the supply list for this kit. You can go to Keleas.com and get that. Ask here in the comments. We'll be happy to help you find what you need. So we know we're going to use this big bow down here. Look how cute that's going to be. That's going to be really cute. I love that one. And then we're going to use this other bow we made, which is a funky bow with no long tail up here. So those bows are going to be opposite. Isn't that going to be so cute? I just can't wait. Okay, so this bow is going at the bottom, and this bow is going at the top. So no, we're kind of leaving room for that as we start to set out our design. So let's get our greenery first, and we're going to start by putting it in the background. So I know I've kind of get out from behind the bow with my greenery, otherwise I will cover it all up. So I'm going to push these up a little. I love this bush right here because it has so much versatility in that it is long, full, but I can create the wispiness away from the bottom. So whenever you see a bush like this is a great tip, guys. Whenever you see a bush like this, we call it a pusher in design school. And there's advantages to having pusher bushes because they help you not have to make as many cuts. All right, and they make your production time quicker, and you can use them for different purposes. So whenever you see a pusher, know there is some value in that. And that just strictly means I can push up to create a cluster like this. I love that, because it gives me versatility in the bush and how I can use it in wreath making and centerpieces and all kind of different things. I teach all about that in design school, but just be looking for those when you're shopping for supplies. On our website, you'll be able to tell, because it lets you slide it up and down. All right, since I slid those all up, we're going to leave these fairly long and cut these all off this bush. So I'm just going to come in here and just trim these off. Okay, and the whole bush is now trimmed off. Now I'm going to take these, and we're going to take the longer pieces and use kind of them at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to identify who's the longest, and let's go in here and put a few in. All right, and I'm going to have this one go up. Perfect. And let's kind of go a little bit beside that. Yeah, and we don't need it really tight down here. Remember, we've got a whole big bow going up here. Let's do it opposite from those. Y'all, I cannot wait for you to see yours. This is so stinking cute. And let's kind of come down from the welcome. Maybe down a little bit, like that. Oh, that's perfect. All right, let's put some down at the bottom. I'm gonna try to find whoever's the longest. And we're gonna have this one kind of come out the bottom. Let me move this back up and make sure you can see it. And then I'm gonna come a couple of pieces down here, maybe a little left, a little right, and then let's do some more at the top. Save a couple of pieces to come back in later. But so far we've done a great job doing what we call setting our perimeter. We're kind of setting our greenery in the background, so we know exactly where it's all going to be when it goes on there, okay? Next, we're going to do this bush. This one has these great balls, this beautiful yellow, pretty color that's like a little muted, goes perfect with our design. So we're going to do the same thing where we push these up a little. And we're going to really utilize all this pretty greenery on here and get it up by the heads of the balls. And now we're going to cut these a little bit shorter. They got about a 4-inch stem, so I'll just take and cut those off with my wire cutters. All right, and they're all cut just like that. Now with the balls, I want you to start off by putting one on the opposite side of your greenery on each side. So we're going to put 4 pieces in. Here goes my first piece right over here. I'm going to put it on the right side. Yep, and just kind of let that fly out of there. I love that. Rotate that greenery the right direction in case it's backwards. Perfect. Now let's put one on this side. Okay, and just work opposite each other. And right between those greeneries. Okay, let's do the same thing up here. I'm going to pick the longer ones, and we'll have one go up this way. Get my little ball in. And then I think I'm going to wait to put anything at the bottom till we get our bow in. So now grab your bows. We're putting those in next. Our cute bow with the long tails is going in next. We're going to put this one at the bottom. So I'm going to take my glue and just put it on my pins here. We put a U-pin in the back of these. So I'm going to bring the glue to it. Attempt to bring the glue to it. All right here. And then I'm going to put this bow right in the top of the bow. Cute is that. And really work all my tails and loops in. And we'll let that glue set up. And let's put our other bow at the top. I love these. These are so cute. I love this already. Okay, this bow goes at the top. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring a little glue over here. And we'll load it up. And this bow, we're going to kind of move it up a little higher. to where it's sitting kind of on the top of the foam. And I still want these to be opposite, but that way that'll cover up a lot of the foam and you'll still be able to see in there to the welcome a little bit. It'll be a little covered, but oh, that's so cute. Oh, so stinking cute. I love it. Now it's time to fill in with all of our other pieces around there to kind of camouflage. So now we take these pieces and we push them up to where they're super short. That's one of the advantages of that pusher. And we're going to cut them short too. And I'm going to put a little piece in here just to kind of camouflage my foam. I love it. That can come right out of the middle. Let's do one down here. Now, anytime you need to like camouflage, you can use your Spanish moss or your other florals here. I'm just going to put that one in. Can you see that? Oh, I love that. That's so pretty. And let's go a little bit above. So we've got like a little bit of the balls on the left, a little on the right, and then a little top and bottom. Because we really want to bring that yellow color in there. Because it's the perfect yellow. Just popping that honeycomb look. Now let's go above. Okay, right in here above. Yes, 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 yes. Look how pretty, guys. This is where we are so far. It's really cute already. We're not done. Yeah, we're going over the top with this design. I cannot wait for you to see what we're going to do next. Okay, we want to put our little wood bees on next, and this is super easy. I'm going to take these, and I thought we would just put one of these on either side, one higher, one lower. So let's first of all take and cut off the hangers on these because we don't need that. So I'm going to cut that off, and then we'll put that one maybe right here, and then the other one right there. So I'm just going to use glue on these, and you are going to need to just kind of stick with them. Put a little bit of glue on here on the base. And then I'm going to take this and just put it right down here. And I'm overlapping it slightly where it kind of comes off. See that? It's going to come off the side. Ooh, super cute. And then if you can, just bring their little antennas forward because they're so adorable. I love that. Okay, and let's let that get glued on there. And then I'm going to put the other one on the other side. Same idea. Look how cute this is. It's so cute. And this one, why don't we have her kind of look down a little bit, kind of over here. Let's bring her a little bit lower. Now, a little bit higher, kind of coming out. She's right next to the welcome, all right? So I'm going to put some glue right where I think she's going to overlap. And then we're going to go right up here. Just kind of tucked under those four. Oh, perfect. How cute is that? All right, and just hold on to that till it gets set up. That's so cute. I love this. All right, bring it back into place. Now, our last couple of steps here are we need to make sure, and you can double check that you're not leaning more one way or another. You can use these to help weigh it down, move them closer or to the left so you can watch that balance. Now I'm going to take the rest of my greenery that's left, and I think I have 3 or 4 pieces left, and we're going to just tuck this in right around the bow, cut these short, and we're just using this to camouflage our foam and just look really pretty in between the layers of the ribbon. So I'm going to put a little bit up here. Perfect. And just pull that around. And you usually can just pull it kind of through the loop to bring it in. Beautiful. And let's use one opposite that on this other side. I'm going to leave this one a little bit longer so I've got room to get behind the ribbon. Oh, I love that. And let's do a little bit more down here. And I'm going to use one kind of coming in to the left. I want a little bit more weight on this side, so I'm coming over with a couple of these. There we go. And then let's do one a little tighter so I can make sure I got a little bit your weight going this way. So just play with it, y'all, when you're creating to balance it out. This one, I'm going to put it a little tighter. It's still kind of coming this way. Yeah, and then we can have those kind of pop in the middle of that bow like that. That's good. Okay, we're almost done. We're going to add some more bees, and this time these guys are going to be buzzing. And with these, we really want them to have a lot of movement, and I'm going to use these all coming out of the top. Like these guys are just flying around this hive. So we know we need weight here on the left side too. So I'm going to take this first one, and we're going to have these guys flying down. The cool thing about these is you can rotate them just like this. So they're not going to be upside down. I love that. And I'm going to use this as a full stem, just like it is. And we're going to give it a little bend so this can swoop out of this top part. Now, when you get your bees in your kit, you could do this any way you want. You could cut these up into smaller pieces and not having them flying out like this. Whatever you prefer, that is the greatest thing about getting a kit. It gives you direction, it gives you pieces that coordinate together, but you have the options to change all the details up and make it your own. You literally do. Every time you do a floral design, I encourage you to take those steps to do that. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So these guys are just flying out over here. I'm going to work them kind of around our cute little other bees. Look at this. Look at this. It's so cute. I love the dimension it gives us. Now we're going to put another piece at the top. And this one I'm going to keep one of these separate. So I'm going to cut this separate, and then I'm going to leave these two together so that I can have a little less weight to the right, a little bit more back here on the left. So I'm going to have these two flying out the top. So I just cut that one off. So now we've got these two, and they're going to go right in there. Now I'm just going to switch them up a little where that guy's forward and that guy's up. Now these are felt with wire. I can move them all around. They're so well made. Okay, give this some bend, and we're going out to the right. All right, when I push that into the foam, I want to feel it go in and make sure it's going safely. Yes, and then I'm going to have these guys just flying out here. Just like, oh, that's so cute. And now I'm going to take that third one and we're going to use it in tight right in here. Okay, so cut it a little shorter. And now he's a little shorty, and I'm going to push him right in to the foam right here. I think you get right here at the base. I love it. Put a little greenery around these guys and just get them sitting up and flying. I love how well these are wired so they can really move all around. Isn't it cute? Okay. Y'all, we've done it. We've used all our greenery and all our stems, and we made the cutest wreath door hanger. It's adorable. It's adorable. It's full of fun, and I think you could make this easily too. I think you will love this for your door. It's over the top adorable. Y'all, welcome to our hive. We are so happy you're part of our family over here at Keleas.com, and definitely things are buzzing. Things are buzzing around here, and we are having fun with flowers. So grab this kit, guys, before it sells out so you can make this one for yourself. Bloomerinos, we're going to make the cutest little bee wreath. Are you ready to buzz with us? Let's get going. We're working with the smaller 14-inch wreath base to start off our whole design. And the first thing we want to do is kind of create the space we want to use up. And even though this is a small base, I'm going to go way off of it. So start with your greenery. We're going to pull that out right here. And we're going to use our exclusive Keleas.com fishtail fern. I love that I can push this up to totally make this piece a little more clustered at the bottom, but wispy at the top. It's one of the great advantages of using this type of greenery. We're going to cut these down and start to shape out our base. So I'm just going to use my wire cutters, cut those off the stem, and we're going to create what we call our perimeter. When I'm teaching in design school, sometimes we create the perimeter first, sometimes we'll do it with other florals, but today we're going to do it with our, right here with our fishtail. So I'm going to start going way off the design to kind of create this beautiful wispy look. See how far I'm going off? Way off. So we're going to start at the top and work our way around. Let's go back a little bit here and place these in. Now, I'm getting a liberal amount of glue on there, but if I don't have enough glue, it won't stay. So I've got to have a lot of glue. If I can see the glue, when I push it in, let's say it compacts in there, we use that Spanish moss to hide that and also make sure that you can't see it, okay? And it holds it tighter. So here you see a lot of that glue. I've got my bucket of Spanish moss here. I'm gonna pull that off. Today we're using the chartreuse green color of our Spanish moss, and all that will be on the supply list for you, okay? So we started at the top, and now we're gonna come here down to the bottom, and I'm gonna also cascade a lot off the bottom. So we're gonna do that right here as well. So don't be afraid to kind of have a smaller base and work off a smaller base even to make a larger project. All right, so I used 6 of these pieces. I got a great shape started. You can see it kind of coming together. It looks excellent. So now our next move is going to be to use our filler flower. So let me move our little bees out of the way. And our filler flower is this. It is a great wispy berry. And so it's going to provide our main color. It's not our main flower. We've got a different item to work as our main flower because we're using those cute bees. So I'm going to take, and we're going to go ahead and shred this dude down. So when you separate a bush like this, one of the nice things about Keleas.com products is I make sure what we carry is easy to break up and work with. Okay, so you see how I separated it? Just tear those down now. Just tear these down into little pieces. And really quickly, look how fast we tear this into separate sections. And now I'm going to cut these babies down by 1 inch, okay? 1 inch stems on everybody and clean that up. Okay, and they're all cleaned off. Pull all this junk out of here. We don't need this. You can save that stem if you want. You can recycle these and use these for picks for other pieces in your designs later, okay? So let's start putting these in. Actually, I need to break up both bushes. Let me just go ahead and do that first. So take your longest pieces that you have, and we want to use those out in between our greenery. So we're going to swirl it here in the glue. And I'm going to go way out to that perimeter. So make sure you're going into that grapevine where it's going to hold it tight. Use a good amount of glue. If you get excess paper, pull that off because we don't need that grabbing our glue. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Let's rock this one way up here and put a little moss in. If you start to do this moss technique, you'll kind of learn. It can help hold things in like a looser design. So play with that. That's something I teach in design school. You guys can use that also. If you haven't jumped in our class yet, we would love to have you. Every week I'm teaching in there a new design and always skills and decoration tips and tricks for you to use. Not only if you have a business, but if you want to create things for your home. And we're going to teach you the design principles we're using, whether that's color, placement, texture, depth, all of those things are super important in design. So you're going to see us utilize all of that together. Okay, so I've got a nice placement at the top here. Look at this. And then I'm going to come back and work on the bottom now. We're going to come into the bottom. I'm going in between these. You can see here, take a look how I made sure that these are kind of moving up. Nobody's really flat when you go from the side. Do you see how they're coming out? That's really important. That'll help you get better depth on your designs. Now, we are going to put these pieces off to the side. We'll use those after we get our bow in. We need to get our main floral in, and we're using 2 different things for the main floral. We are using this great, it's like a thistle type bush, and it's beautiful grass. So this is going to be our main floral, and then we've got to put the bees in. But I want to place this before the bow. Okay, so let me place the wreath over here so we get a good good idea of how this is looking top to bottom, and we want to equally place these in. I'm going to take and tear these down. Once that bush is all broke down into these smaller pieces, we're going to start and putting these right where we put the filler flowers. So it's really super easy for you. Just place them right next to it, and then you can bend them where they go a little bit above or a little bit below that. Swirl it in. We're going to go in here. And make sure you got some movement on these. We want these to be in different planes of the design. Let's put 3 at the top. Okay. Popping these right in. Fantastic. Now let's go to the bottom and work down here. And we're going to have the bow kind of cascading into this section, so don't go too tight into here. We call this the bow zone in design school. That is the transition point for your design. And hold this little guy off because we'll use him in a minute. So we did the bow on another video, and I'll be happy to teach you how to make the bow as well. Oh my gosh, look how cute this is. If you're not into the bees and you don't want the cute part of it, and the bees and the bow is just enough for you, that's fine. So I told you this is a nice big bow, and you guys, if you're looking for a wreath to make to stock your Etsy shop, these type of designs are great. I've sold thousands, literally thousands of this type of designs. They're fairly quick to manufacture if you're looking for some that are easy, great shop fillers for your Etsy shop. Okay, I cable tied that in nicely. Now go ahead and spread apart those loops. Get these tails going and bring them on down. Just keep bringing them on down. And then I'm going to curl these little ones up right here. Or you could leave them straight. Either way, we've dovetailed them, so either way will work. And then I'm going to curl the little outside ones and bring this one in. Look how cute. Isn't this precious? I love it. I love it. Now, we are not done because we want to add that whimsy. So grab your bees because these guys are going to be flying out of here, and I think they're so precious. So cut these off the big stem, and the nice thing is they're going to cut off into 3 little sections, which is perfect. Because basically you're going to have one above and one below. And let's take these, spread them apart. Look how cute. Make them kind of go different directions. I think that's fun. Their little wings are moldable, so you can take and make them do fun stuff. And since they're on these curls, you can whip them around. So we're going to use this first one kind of up to the top, above the bow in here. So just tuck the bow out of the way and tuck that in. Let's put a little moss. Oh, stinking cute. Once you hang it up on your door, guys, you can manipulate the bees too to kind of look at you or be tucked in around, however you want. Isn't that precious? Now let's come to the bottom. I'm going to scoot that up a little bit. Now we're going to go on the bottom. Now on the bottom, I don't love for the bees to be upside down. So what I usually do is once we put it in, we'll just give them a little twist because they're going to all be upside down. And bees can fly in all kind of different directions, but we want to make sure we tuck them in. So I'm going to pull this up a little. Make sure we're getting that in good. There you go. And then I just twist their little heads so they're flying down instead of flying up. Just give them a twist, rotate them around, and then they don't have to be going all the same way. This one could be. He could be coming back. Whatever you prefer. It's so cute. These look like the cutest little bees. Oh my gosh. All right, now we've got those pieces we put aside, and we're going to work with those right now to finish out these parts. So this bee, I want him to kind of go out here from the outside of the bow to kind of finish out my shaping on this side, right in here. And you're just going to tuck him in. And then you've got a great shape working around the bow here at the top, okay? Now, the other things we're going to do are going to be right in tight to the bow. So let's start off with we have a little bit of greenery left, okay? Pull that aside. And then we have our cute little berry sprays. We have 3 or 4 of these. You're going to use these in holes. So because right now I can see a hole right here by that bee. So we're going to layer that on top of that bee stem, okay? So curl this around. So your last few steps, you're kind of cleaning up. You're cleaning up the mechanics of what's going on here. Look at this. Oh my God, so pretty. And move her forward. All right, and let's come to the bottom. Do the same thing. We're going to run right out of the bottom of the bow. Now, when you do your project here at the end and you're cleaning up, you could find a number of different things, places you need to put things, okay? They may not necessarily be where my holes are. So that's why I always reserve just a little bit of the supplies for the end, just to double check the holes. You know, 1 or 2 pieces. You can always yank something out and replace it in. But it's a little bit easier to save some and then just pop them in. I'm going to put this last one in tight to the bow here in the middle. And then we're going to layer that piece of greenery up in here also. Look how pretty these are. And I love that they're moving up. And make sure you don't squish that bow too much. Fluff it out. Okay, now pull this dude down and make it nice and fluffy. Okay, how cute is that? Keep the stem a little long. You got to get in behind the bow. And we're going to use this just at the top here. Like the bees are going in the grass. They're trying to get to all those little yellow flowers, get some pollen. And so that creates a little depth, guys. The green in the back, the green in the front. Once again, you know, tying in the depth. The last little bitty thistle in here, trim that stem down. And we're going to use that either up or down. I'm going to use it down right in here. So that one will tuck in right behind the bow. And we don't have a single piece of supplies left. We used it all in our wreath. That's something also I'm big on. I don't want to have things left over for my projects. I want to use everything I'm working with, consume it to make something beautiful, just like this. Oh my gosh, look how cute she is. You see her? Oh my goodness. To make our bee door hanger, and I want to make this one totally different than I've ever done this type of design before. And we're going to make her really grand is what I'm planning on doing. So I want her to have a ribbon hanger that hangs up way above her antennas up here. So I'm going to turn her to her side and I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? Now, what you're going to need is an awl. The kit for this is going to come with 3 different ribbons, and you can pick which one you want to use for the hanger. I'm using the yellow stripe. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of 18 gauge wire. This is not going to come in the kit. You're going to have to grab your own of these. This is what we're going to use to add support behind the ribbon, but no one's really going to know it because we're going to hide it behind the bow, okay, when it all comes down to it. So this project's going to have 2 bows, and we are making the top bow right now. You can eliminate that from your design if you want, but I wanted to really give you all another option to make this one really fun for summer and, you know, make her like the queen bee, you know. So let's do it. So grab your awl, and that is just, you could also maybe use a screwdriver, but this seems to work pretty well. And if you flip her over, there is the frame, the metal frame of the base here. And then there is a little grapevine. And what we're trying to do is just kind of get under there like this and stick that awl through. You can see it coming through. And that'll give me a little space in here to run my first hanger. Now, I probably need this a little more wider because I don't want it to come behind her antennas. So let's do that again. Let's go wider out here so that the actual hanger kind of comes beside her antennas, but not taken away from how cute she is, right? So I'm going to run that right where I left the hole for the awl. Okay, and just take, and we're going to just twist this around. Okay, perfect. First piece in, okay, right there. Now the second piece, we're going to work our way across and push this in right here. I love it. And we will put this piece in too. So I've got 2 pieces of wire going, and we got them underneath the little metal frame, so I know she's going to hold together good. And I got it through her little burlap head, and I'm going to twist that around. So you can do that on both sides. Okay. Then we will kind of make sure that's not going to poke anybody, yourself, or tear up your door or anything. Tuck that under a little bit, this little end of the wire. Okay, so bring those together, and now you can kind of see how this would work. We're going to try to cover that with ribbon and have this hanger way up here, right? So we got to start. Now, what I want you to do is start down here, right kind of where that wire's coming through. And see what that would look like. That would look pretty sharp there. And then we can take and just cut that and tuck that right under the grapevine. I think we could glue that under. Okay, and that would come up to there. And then her antennas, we could gently move them a little bit forward. Hold them tight. Be very careful. We don't want to pop them off. But that would work. So I'm going to take and cut a strip of ribbon that would go from here to here with a little bit extra. So every project's going to be a little bit different, but I want you to measure that out from each side and just cut this a little bit longer so we've got plenty on either side, because we're going to glue that little edge in when we get to that part. Okay, so we know we got enough ribbon trimmed. Now I want you to decide how high you want this. I'm going to take and twist these together to make my hanger right now, so just twist these. And you guys do not have to do this if you don't want to put in all this extra little detail work, but I think it's fun to make it really polished and finished, especially when you're going to make it for you. Okay. So now find the middle of your ribbon, and we know that's going to be up here at the top, right? And I want that to be the top of the hanger right there, okay? So perfect. And I am going to take and leave that there to hang. And basically all the weight is going to be taken by this wire, but we're going to let it hang off that ribbon right there. Or you can put it down a little bit lower, and but we're going to keep that where the bow is going to be. Or we can just make the bow right here and just have this go right over this wire. You can pick whatever you want, but I think it would work. It worked well either way. But let's take and start right here with our little loop we just did, and let's put a cable tie right there. We're just going to gather that, and I want you to take and put that right here at the top and just pop a cable tie over that. And that's going to hold that right into place. And we did that in that middle of that ribbon, so we've got plenty of room to be able to go on either side. So let's trim that off. So there's our hanger that's going to be right above the top of our bow. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and we're going to be able to just kind of put a little glue around this and just take and sandwich and hide this right in there. And then no one's going to see it. All right, let's take and glue it down right now. So I'm just going to lay this right here, and we're going to try to run that right down that center stripe, and that'll kind of help me keep it even. Doesn't have to be too fancy, but I'm just going to take and put a little bit, just a little glue down there. And then we'll just sandwich it right over. And just line those edges up. There. Okay, perfect. Now let's do the other side. So just take and lay it right in the middle of the glue. In the middle of the stripe. Not the glue. And get a little glue on your stick. Just going to run that right down the edge here. Yep. And then we'll just sandwich that right over the middle to make them match up on the edge. And if you need a little more glue, you can do that. Add it wherever you need it. And then I'm going to finish this little part right here when I have it up on the wreath stand to get that really neat and clean right there. I can try to get it close. Let me see. Let me cut it right to here. Just going to cut it straight. But basically, we just made our own custom little hanger. It's a little more finished. Okay, now the other side. Do that same thing. Right there. Y'all, in this kit, you get the whole roll of ribbon, so you can do as much decorating as you want for your hanger. So once our hanger is done and all glued into place, then we're going to make the bow. It's going to go on here. And you're going to love it. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now that looks really clean and polished and finished. And we've got our cute hanger on there, right? It's going to be going up on the door. Now let's make our bow that goes with this, okay? Now we're making a little bow to go up here at the top, okay? And make it super duper cute. I don't need really long tails, but I'm, 6 or 8 inch tail I think would be fine. And I'm going to make this match the bow we made earlier. So that means it's going to have yellow in the back, then polka dot, then the stripe, okay? So let's do that. And our bow we made for the bottom of the design was, it was pretty big. It was at 6 inches. So we're just going to go 5 on this one. We're going to go a little smaller. So the tails, we know we need them to be shorter. Bring this dude over. If you go 8 inches, that'll be perfect. It'll be right at her antennas. So let's go with 8. I think that'd be fine. All right, there's my first tail put in. And we said we're staying small, so we're going to go 5, twist, and 5 on the right. And we're going to keep this smaller than the last one we did. So I'm going to do, let's do 2. I think we'll twist. I'll do 2 of the polka dot here. I like that. Okay. Bring these little tails down. Cut them to match. Now let's go with the polka dot. The black polka dot. I'm going to do the same thing. Cut it at an angle. I hope you guys love these kits we put out. I mean, they make it so easy for you to create the project right along. Okay, and I'm going to go about the same, right around 5 for the polka dot. Just one of these going in. And then let's come in with the stripe. The stripe. And we're going to do 2 of the stripe at 4.5. So just a cute little pop in here. So all we're doing is making a smaller version of the bow we made for the bottom. And we just kept those tails a lot shorter because of how we're going to use them in this design. All right, cable tie is going to go in there. We're going to pull it off the bow maker. Got a little pressure. Okay, and bring this over. And let's, before you pull it tight, make sure they're stacking up how you want them there. Poof, poof, poof. All right, and let's go in the back. Okay, shape it up. Let's go. Get that nice and tight, and then I'm going to cut that back piece off. Now, don't even worry about the center quite yet. Let's bring over our bee that we're going to put it on, and let's decide how we like this. And if it's going to work. Well, it's perfect. It's perfect there. So I'm not going to do the center yet. I'm going to go ahead and attach her to the bee up here. And that's where those wires met behind our ribbons. We're going to get this nice and tight right there where we had. And try to get it right below your other cable tie. And that way it can't slip off the top. Just in case somebody were to grab it by the bow. You know, when they're hanging it or something. We don't have to worry about it getting loose. All right, that's looking cute. Now let's shape it up. Same way we would do. We know that this is the little loop. So the hanger loop we had on there just now looks like part of the bow, which is great. And they can just hang it from under the bow or they can use that loop. Here's all my tails coming down. I love that too. So cute, guys. Try to pull these down a little bit more deliberately. There they go. this one. Bring them back here. That's going to look good. Now, if you can see the middle here, we got to go ahead and get that cleaned up. So I like the stripe in there. It just kind of makes that center disappear. So just cut yourself like a 10-inch piece. Fold it on itself, and we're going to run that right down the middle of the bow, right through that piece of ribbon that we added for our hanger. And then all of that is just neatly camouflaged, just like that. Okay, now turn it over, the whole piece here, and let's add a little knot. And I'm going to try to hide this cable tie in the back. Yeah. 2 here. Wonderful. I'll trim this off. Okay. And that, and that. And there, you've done it. Look at this, guys. Here you go. There is our top bow on our bee. And I can't wait to see you on the rest of this video. We're going to go ahead and put this whole bee together and continue to make her an awesome door hanger. I love her. Guess what, y'all? We're getting ready to work with this killer ribbon right here. This is our combo we're going to be using to make this bow, and I think you're going to love it. Now, I'm going to start off with, these are all 1.5-inch ribbons, and that's going to give us a really fun loopy bow, which is exactly what we want because we're adding all these fun florals in. So we're going to keep it all with 1.5-inch ribbons. And I want to make sure, and I break up the solid with the dot, with the stripe, and just mix those all in. I'm putting the black in the middle to really help dominate that. And then I am going to put the yellow on the background so it really pops off of our base that we're using this bow on. So let's pull these to the side. I'm going to grab yellow first and load it on my bow maker here. This bow is kind of the one that is draping down the door in our design. So I want to take and make sure I let it do that. So anytime you really want it to feel very long and drapey, you're going to go with 20-inch tail. It is my go-to. When I come to the center, I'm going to twist and just pull that. Now I'm going to start to make my first loops, which are going to be at 6 inches. I don't need it to be super huge. I'll make one on the left, one on the right, twist when you're going to make more loops. And I'm going in 6 inches here and twisting, and I'm fluffing these up. And I hope you are excited to make this bow with me because we're going to build up on our design starting with this bow. So I love it. Now, both of these are at 20 inches long and beautiful. Like, think of it like your pretty ponytail in the back, and it's going to, this case, it's going to be in the front. It's going to be bobbing up and down when the wind blows. Like, we want that to be sassy. Now, come in with your polka dot next. We're going to use it next. And I also want these tails to be long, but we'll go a little shorter. I love to tell a story with my ribbon, letting it kind of lay down and hang down. So we're going to do that right now. Bring my next layer in. And I'm going 16 inches here. Okay, and we're going to twist. No, 18 inches. I didn't go that much shorter, 18. And let's go a little bit smaller, 5.5. Twist with our polka dot. 5.5 right here. Scrunch, we're just doing one loop of polka dot. We're going to layer this bow up. Now you're going to want to grab your stripe ribbon, go next with it. And it's going to be on the top layer here. So now a little bit shorter tail. So probably my 16 inches is correct this time. Shorter. Twist. And I want these to be at 5. We're going to do 2 on either side. One on the left. One on the right. And we're going to keep building it up. Okay, and fluff those out. Make sure they look pretty good. I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter here. There we go. And cut those opposite. Fantastic. I love how we layered up. That's looking really good. I'm ready to take it off my bow maker, and so I'm going to grab my cable tie here, and I just run that right beside those main dowels and pull that up, add a little pressure. Okay, rotate that to the back. And what you're going to want to do now is take and shape it up how you want it to come together, and make sure you separate those layers out. So see all that dimension? That's really important. It'll make your work stand out and look that much better. We are always teaching that and doing that in design school, how important that dimension is, whether it's in the bow or the design. It just makes things look so next level. Now, my other cable tie is going to go in the back, and we'll put a second cable tie in, and that's how we'll attach it to our finished piece. We're ready to put it in. You guys, if you're loving this bow, but you want to know where we use it in our design, just let me know in the comments, and we'll get you a link so you can go see where the bow ends up. We also will have all that information linked on our website. If you go over to Keleas.com and Keleas.com. When you head over there, when a project is done, it usually will have a kit available. If it's a public kit, like this one's available to the public. We have special kits that are only available to our design school students, and we have exclusive products that are only available to them. But it will tell you all that on our website. You'll know where, if you can grab it, where you can see the video, if it's a public or private video. We've got all that posted on there for you. And we would love to have you in our class when you're ready. But when you're first starting, just come and join us on our page, and you can learn how to make gorgeous stuff like this bow. But better than that, we're going to show you how to use this. We've made our own extended hanger, and that way we can make her so big and grand on our doors. So I'm going to put that up at the top on my wreath stand, and you can see how cute she already is with her cute little striped hanger, her ribbon tails coming down. And then we were very careful, and we moved her antennas forward a little bit. The next thing I want you to do is take and put a little pressure in the middle and gently bring her wings forward just a little, so it makes it a little more dimensional. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to make an arrangement right down here at the bottom of her body to balance out the bow, and we'll have another bow down here. So the only things that do not come in this kit are going to be the foam that you'll need and the wire that you need for the hanger and the cable ties. But all the floral supplies come in here, so it makes it super duper easy. So you're going to need a little bit of floral foam, and we are going to attach the floral foam right down here to the bottom of her body. So let me move the camera a little bit so you guys can see this really good, and I'm going to move her up on the stand even more. That's a nice thing when you put wire in that hanger stands up. Okay, so I'm going to add the foam right down here to the bottom of her body, and there's a wire frame in there. So what we want to make sure is we push that in, and then we come from behind and just go around that wire frame with a couple of floral pins so we know she's not going to break or come off. So you can pick up this foam at a craft store. Even Dollar Store has the floral foam. You can pick up a little there, and I'm going to move her fabric just a little because it'll be nice if it kind of helps camo our glue. Hold pressure on there. I keep my little basket of floral pins here, and you want to come from the back and grab around that metal frame and just go right into the foam. And I'm doing that right now. Now, if you're in design school, you know this trick. We've used it several times. But you guys got to make sure you secure it really well. You can't just secure it to the burlap. That will not hold up over time. You got to go deeper, okay? A little more secure. And I'm going on the edges here. Yep, pushing that in through the grapevine. And then you know you got her secure on there, and that's not even going to come off. You are good, okay? So our next step is going to get our greenery that comes in the kit. And we have two different kinds. One that's got a little more yellow, this one, and one that's sticking with a little bit more green. We're going to mix these in here to make a really fun combo. And I'm going to make it a little asymmetrical because I can't do symmetrical that often because boring, not as fun as having all the different directions going. So let's do that down here on her bottom of our design. So I broke this one all up into smaller stems, and I want you to do the same thing here. Just gently trim these as long as you can get them. Get out your wire cutters. You should have those in your wreath making stash. And we're going to take and just cut these all off here. Okay. So once those are all cut off, I'm going to have a nice bush of the greenery and of the yellow. And we're just going to kind of alternate and put these in opposite each other. Okay. We want to get a good little background going. And I'll love to come up and overlap her body. We don't want to cover her body up, but we want to kind of have it cascading up and down through there. And this one come down a little bit. I'm going to go opposite. So we'll just come right in here and go down. Kind of working that yellow down. I think I better bring her up a little higher, guys, so you can see her even better. There we go. And her hanger will be fine there. Okay, that's better. This is a little too long. Let me trim that. That's okay. You can trim it. We can make it a little shorter. Let's go right in here. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, now let's work on either side of those with a little bit of this filler. It's kind of being real soft in there. Yeah. That's why I'm going to cut down a little. Y'all, when you're creating and you're getting in your creative zone and enjoying it, it's such a relaxing, peaceful place to be. And my hope for you is that you can find that. Being creative, you get excited about what you're making. You can share it, you know, on your social media to show what you've made. You can even one day, if you decide, hey, I think I want to make a few and sell a few. I'm enjoying this process. You can do that too. Just think it's absolutely so fun to be creative. Hey, and you can give these as the greatest gifts. People will be blown away when you show up with this type of gift and you say, I made it. They are going to lose their mind. Okay, so we kind of got a little triangle made on either side right now. We've got a little greenery, a little yellow. Now let's come out a little bit from the center. Now we're leaving a spot open we call the bow zone, and that is something we do in design school. And we're doing that right now too. We're leaving a little area going. And this is going to be going a little left to right. It's not symmetrical, and that's okay. We like that. We want it to feel very natural. That's the type of design I do. It's very natural and flowing and lots of movement. Especially in the spring, it should feel like it's a wildflower garden. That's what I love. We're going to put this one on this side, okay, and we got them all in. All right. So our next step is going to be to get the bow in before we add anything else, so we can work all the florals around the bow. That is one of my favorite things to do. Plus, we've got the cutest bees going in here. So let's grab our bow, and I'm going to put it in next. If you don't know how to make the bow, we'll have a link here to the video, and I'll show you how to do that, as well as a link to where we made the hanger and the wire covered ribbon to do the hanger. Okay, so we made a bigger version of that bow up there, but they're identical, okay? Now, instead of being symmetrical and just going in the center, which you could do, we're not. We're going a little bit sideways, so we get that fun, not identical look. Now, this is done on a cable tie to tie it on, but in this case, I'm going to be pinning it into the floral foam, so I'm going to take out the cable tie and add a metal U-hook to the back. You can make it out of wire too if you have extra 18 gauge wire when you made the hanger. You can make your own back here, that's fine. I'm going to put this in. I'm just wiggling it in. Okay, make sure you got enough wire showing because we got to go into the foam pretty deep here. And I'm going to hit that with a lot of glue. So I'm putting glue on my wire, and then I'm going to put a little glue on my ribbon back here so when this puppy goes in, she's staying in. And remember, we don't want her symmetrical. We're having her go a little sideways here. Oh, I'm going to have her go this way. That's my plan. So watch her go into the foam, hear her crunch, and make sure she is getting plenty of glue. She's going to stay into that foam. Now That way she will not come out. Ooh, that looks good already. So we're gonna let that glue set up before we fluff her too much. I'm gonna add one more floral pin kind of behind here to make sure she stays. I'm gonna grab a little of her ribbon tail down here and put a little backup plan. You guys can always do that. Okay, she looks cute. Now, we're not done yet. We've got more bees to put in. So let's grab our big bees first, because they're kind of the star of this show. We want the big bees to come up into her body and kind of come in the front right here, but I'm not going to use them as one stem. We're going to take and cut these off here. So just take for a second and just pull them down, and then we'll trim those off. Just trim all of that off there. And then the 3 big bees are independent. So let's start with that tallest one, because we know we want the tallest one to be up here, kind of up here by her head, you know, buzzing around. And these are on these great wires. You can manipulate them. I can bend the head down, mess with the antennas, everything I want to do. And I'm going to come in right up in here. Y'all, I love, because we are taking this simple door hanger and we're making her into really a work of art where she is just going to be adorable. Okay, there's her first bee there. And I'm going to put 2 bees up here and 1 kind of down there coming back around, so we keep the weight distributed. She doesn't really hang too much left or right. Here comes a smaller one. This is the smallest bee on there because she could be down here by the bow. And she could be flying up or down, or she could face you, or whatever you want to do. She can do it all. Let's have her turn. I think she needs to look at us. Come look at us. All right. Now this bottom one's going to come out the bottom. I think it can be soaring that way. See what happens? You get in here and all of a sudden you're dreaming about the bees soaring around and they're flying and how you can see where they're going. And ew, yes, that gets me so, I'll get into it. Okay, now let's go ahead and put our other bee stem. This one has the little glitter grass with it, which I love that too. And we're going to take and trim this one into sections as well. The grass is really going to only be able to be with 1 stem. So I may just take it out and use it in something else this time and just cut these out independently, because it will be a lot of work to move that around, but save that for something because that's got that cute little grass. Now these are a little shorter, so we want to take that longest one and kind of use it in between these up here, but they have the cutest wings. Okay. So it's going to go up here. And at the same time you're doing this, you're adding these little details. I want you to add in a little bit more of the yellow grass, cut it short. You know, get some small little pieces of it and start to use some smaller pieces of your greenery. And we're going to support each of these pieces when we put it in with a little bit of that around it. It's called your detail work, and your detail work's really important to the final pieces. You gotta take a minute and do it. And then it breaks the plane of the bow, gives you that nice little wispy feel. But these are just smaller pieces of the greenery that we cut down a little. Okay, let's have that come through, and there's our small bee. Now let's take another one of our small bees. Let's have it come out the bottom of the bow. Over here where the other guys were. Just right there where the 2 ribbons kind of come together. I put them right in the middle. Isn't it so cute? I love it. Y'all, this is going to make a really stunning door hanger. And no one else is going to have them this way. Yours is going to be different. So if you're going to the craft show, you want to have some other pieces to sell that are different, take and set it up differently. Be different than your neighbor's booth or the way you've done them before. But bees go so good with sunflowers for the summer and are so popular that it's like a no-brainer to work with them. Look at that. I just put this little bee in here. buzzing around like they're all buzzing around that bow. Okay, detail time. So have a little bit longer piece and let's work this in and out this bow. Oh, this is so cute. I hope you can lose yourself in your work like I like to do and find your comfort and peace in creating. And when you give this to a neighbor or you hang it on your own door and you give yourself permission to have a pretty space, you don't have to wait to rationalize it. You deserve a pretty space. You deserve a pretty front entryway every time you walk in. You don't have to wait to get permission or rationalize that. Some of us have a hard time rationalizing spending money on ourselves. We're always busy investing in our business. But you know what? I believe that time is coming to an end for you. And that you're going to allow yourself to have beautiful spaces, pretty entryways, pretty doors, pretty offices, pretty craft rooms. Let yourself do that. You deserve it. Don't be like Keleas and wait. You deserve to have an area that's gorgeous, decorated the way you want. You go get it, and you make it nice. Oh my gosh. Those of you who have big, cute porches, you guys got to do the bee theme. So stinking cute. All right, let me put a little more yellow on the right. This last fill-in is just filling in. You keep looking back, you see where she needs a little more loving. You keep filling her in. And then the last thing you want to do is, like, if you can see any of the floral foam from the sides or the edges, I generally would just cover that with a little Spanish moss. We've got our natural colored, not natural, we have light green Spanish moss in stock right now, which would work great for this. It's a good one that goes into the fall too. But if you only had dark green in stock in your craft room, that'd be okay too. These are the smaller pieces that came off those big ones. I'm just going to bring those in. I'm just going to keep tucking them in between these layers. I'm watching the ribbons, just pushing that into foam. And then those little bits of greenery just poke out and add all that dimension. It's so cute, guys. And then, what do you know? You get all these going, and before you know it, you've made that. You have made that. No one's made this door hanger like this, y'all. We crushed it. As per normal, crushing it. I love it. I hope you enjoyed this different take on the bee door hanger, and you're going to grab this kit so you can make this, because your home deserves to be extraordinary and special just because you want it that way. And I think you need to make one for you. Okay, Bloomerinos, I'll see you next time, and y'all go have fun with flowers. Bye, y'all. Hey, Bloomerinos, it's Keleas with Keleas.com. Y'all, Keleas.com. I'm so glad you're here this afternoon. We are rocking out a fun swag, and this one is set up. You can buy it as a kit or the supply list, depending what's available. So we'll let you know what we've got in the links below or up in our link tree. You can check it all out. Today we're starting with a base that's already built like this, and I'm going to show you what a gorgeous base it's on. It's all made of angel vine, and do you notice how the berries go from red to like a rust to an orange? It's just a beautiful color combination, and we're going to add a few things to this to make it super special. But the first thing we're going to do before we build up our swag is we're going to add the bow to the top. So it comes with the hanger ready to go, and we're going to add our own bow. So these types of projects are really great for beginners or those who just need some really simple pieces to help fill up their Etsy shops or get their homes decorated in a snap, you know, for the holidays. So welcome everybody. I'm Keleas with Keleas.com. I'm glad you're here. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, do all the things so you won't ever miss a video. And we also would love for you to be on our text list at 832-734-5201. text us the word live and we can get you on our Discord server, and you can never miss another video or new supply or new trick, tip, all the things. So you can see here, I'm going to be using this 1.5-inch ribbon that's got all the beautiful fall colors in it. And I want it to be coming out longer than the swag. So just bring the swag over, measure out, go a little bit longer just for good measure, literally, so we have extra if we need it. So I've done that, and that makes it probably about 26 inches long. Come to the center, and we're going to make just a really simple bow here. I'm going to bring these loops out to pretty big, 6.5. 6.5 in twists. And let's go on the other side, 6.5 and twist. And you can hold this in your hand right here in the middle to make the bow. I find it a little bit easier to use a bow maker, but whatever you prefer is totally fine. All right, and I'm going all the way around with 3 loops on each side because we want to make this bow nice and full for our design. Let's do that on every side, and I'm going to separate them out. Bring those tails down. And I'm just going to alternate the cuts so they make a nice little chevron when you put them together. You could also dovetail that if you wanted to, but that's where you get the look, where the tails are alternating. Now we're going to put our second layer of ribbons in. And this one is going to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to go at, we were at 6.5. Let's just go at 5. Let's go shorter. And now I'm going to make this tail about 6 inches shorter, okay? So a little bit more dramatic of a decrease in size. So 5.5 right here. Come in and twist. Or you could go 5 too if you wanted to go even in a little bit more. Either one's fine. You just want to kind of bring your eye into the center of the bow. And twist that around. And we're going to put 2 on each side. Make sure you hold it tight. We do in-depth bow training every week. So you can go back and catch one of our replays here. Wherever you're enjoying this video, we'll have replays available for you. Or definitely check out our blog on Keleas.com. Okay, let's come in with just a bow tie in the center. And what that is a little loop. And basically I'm choosing that because I don't want tails coming down. I want a kind of a clean, just a few tails coming in the center. So I crisscross these ribbons over, then bring that, scrunch it up, and we'll put that right down the middle. Super duper cutie. Love it. So we've made a blast off bow. That's 3 loops, 2 loops, 1 loop. And now I'm going to get a little section to use for the center. And you're still going to have some more ribbon for another project, guys. Whatever you prefer to make next. Now let's come in with our cute little cable ties. These are just clear. They're not so cutesy. I need some jazzy ones. All right, come down the middle. We're going to pull it off the bow maker just like that. Now, rotate this behind as you fluff it up, okay? Fluff it up and section these out. You guys, if you want to learn how to floral design, of course we do easy projects like the one we're doing today, but you want to learn the principles and how to make the swag from scratch and how to put colors together and textures and all that. That's something we teach in our design school course, and it opens up twice a year. So depending when you're watching this video, you need to get on the wait list. When class opens up, we will let you know. You can grab a spot at KeleasDesignSchool.com. And remember, that's Keleas. Alrighty, I got the cable tie on. I put that one in the back. That's how we're going to attach it to the swag. But I've got to cover up our little plastic center because we don't want to see that. So I just take and fold this on itself. And we'll run that right down the middle. You can make that fat or skinny, whatever you prefer, going down the middle. And then you are ready to take and put a couple of knots in there in the back if you can. If not, 1 will work. This 2 is a little bit safer. You don't have to worry about ever being naked in the middle. We don't want to see that cable tie showing. Okay, so there's our gorgeous bow. And that's kind of the most trickiest part of the whole project. Probably takes the longest part. Now I showed you the swag, and I'm going to show you the pick. Then we've got a surprise thing coming for the end. So I've got to keep you teased till the end. All right, so wherever we leave space for a bow, I like to call it the bow zone. And the bow zone is right in here. So that's a term you'll hear me use off and on. Now, you see I have this pink and green floral over here, and I have it over here. I'd really like to alternate that. So I'm going to move the little pine, no, it's not a pine, it's kind of like a fun little fern type pick, and move this across from it. So these will be opposite. Just bring this in, just run this right down, and leave some room for the bow zone, and then just bring this piece over, okay? So that's called shaking hands with a pick, evaluating how things are. The difference between just shoving it in and not paying attention to that and making every piece have its actual place means the difference in the price points you can charge for your work later, or the detail that you put into your work when you are decorating your own home with it, or the office you're decorating, or what project you're doing. You're paying attention to the placement of the berries, the greenery, the picks. I'm not just shoving things in. So I took a cable tie and I tied that on through there, and I've got all these beautiful pieces in here, and they're just a mirror image of what we've got going on down there. So, but we still left our bow zone, and this is smaller, and that's fine. That's kind of the look we're going for. So now I'm going to pop in the bow. You're going to see how easy this is. Look at this. You made this swag. Boom. Boom. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to run this through the angel line. That's what the base is called, that the whole swag is made on. I'm going to run that through and tighten that cable tie up right here. And then we'll slide it around, and we're going to manipulate the tails. And then I told you about our little surprise piece coming up. I am going to show you that one and show you how fun this is to add on. This has such a natural nature vibe to it with the berries and the beautiful colors. Wait till you see what we're going to pop in. Oh, well, sugar. That was Keleas pulling out the front loop. Never feel, I'll glue it in. So that's my little, that was my loop in the center of the bow. And because I yanked on it, I pulled it out. So just be careful. I forget I can't do that with a bow tie. No. That's okay, you can glue it back. And I'm going to rotate this around because I'm trying to get the bow to the center. Now, with the longer tails, I like the really long tails going kind of behind the berries. So bring the two shorter tails up, and I'm going to bring the longer tails just tucking along the edge here, okay? And that kind of gives it a nice little figure, gives this baby some hips. Her little hips are popping out. She's looking good on your door. Okay, let's bring this one over too. Okay, now the shorter tails, they're going to run up front. And you can see what a great flow you have going down with both the textures. Now I'm going to curl this up and let the others hang straight on the sides, and that one will curl up. Now, are you ready for the surprise? Boy, yeah, say that 3 times fast. That's a hard one. Surprise! Okay, there's our gorgeous swag, and watch. Look what we're going to add. We have the coolest, I got to scoot this over a little bit more to the middle. The coolest twig that I think is going to look so fun in here, and I want to show you. Look at it. It is a butterfly on the coolest bumpy twig, and we're going to use these in here like the butterflies have located the manna from heaven. So I'm going to break this down. We're going to be gluing this into different sections. So this is kind of like a little bonus trick here where we can take some pieces and add them in to add more depth and dimension. And that is something I love to do. My design school students, if you're here watching or you're watching on the replay, let everybody know how we feel about depth and dimension, and how you feel about it, and how important it is in the structure of our work. So I totally took all the butterflies off, and we're going to start to place them into a piece, okay, and start to add them in. I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to use this big piece that has several butterflies, and we're going to shake hands with them. And this one's going to come up here at the top, and I'm going to put it coming out of some of the berries. So I'm going into my glue pot here. We're just going to tuck it in, and I'm going to make sure it just kind of hides behind the bow right there. Perfect. And then we can spread these little guys out. I think a smaller butterfly would look great, like right there. And then we can just manipulate these however, where we want them to go. Look how fun that is already at the top. Oh my gosh. So fun. Now let's come to the bottom. Let's work some more of the bottom. And it's so nice that this already has a hanger built in. You don't even have to worry about how you're hanging it. Putting on a hanger, you don't have to do any of that. Now, when I ship this out to my customer, I'm going to be boxing it up from behind where it can tie it in because it's on that nice angel vine base. Okay, so these are a little bigger. Let's have some of these kind of come out in between all of these berries, and I'm going to glue into the base of the vine. Oh, that's so pretty. And just let these guys fly out like they're all around. Let's come down a little bit lower. I've got 4 for the bottom, so I'll just bring one over here and then keep going down. I'm just looking at my sizing so we don't have, it looks like there's a big one with a little one. So we'll just have nice movement all the way down. Isn't this beautiful on your porch with some gorgeous pumpkins? You can pick up a couple extra of the butterfly sprays if you want to add them in with your fall decor because they are just a beautiful, beautiful color. And they match so perfectly. Let's bring that down. And you can have them out or more in either way. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Okay, let's bring this one down. And then I'm going to have one for the very bottom. So I'm getting in there to the angel vine and pushing him in. So I know a lot of times we're doing really complicated projects with many steps and directions. And we're teaching really high level things in design school. But sometimes it's fun to make something as simple as this one, guys. Simple and just beautiful. Beautiful and easy. So no matter how busy your schedule is, you can take a little time to floral design something just like this with us. Oh my gosh, y'all. I love it, Bloomerinos. It turned out stunning. So check out the finishes images when you're all done and you can see it hanging and how you could visualize this in your own space. Boy, I can't wait to see what you guys make. Y'all have fun with flowers and I will see you next time. Bye, Bloomerinos.